What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 272. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
What's up, people? How's it going?
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
Yo, what up?
Adam Vale.
What
And fucking Brett Murdoch.
There's no way I can beat that.
Yeah, that's it, man. Even Brian, if he was here tonight, he wouldn't be able to top that shit, you know? Yeah. By the way, see, this is the shit I'm talking about, man. The show hasn't even started. There's already 3 curses. Always from me, man.
Damn.
That's how it goes,
You got
man.
a potty mouth. You need that orbit.
Meanwhile, when you motherfuckers was doing this, like, I was like, yo, where's the cursing at, man? Even with torrents, man. What is going
You know,
on?
if there was no cursing and it got rid of that mature rating, you know how many hits this fucking shit would get?
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about
It
all these
goes to
minorities, bruh. Too many minorities on this show, man. You know, even with Brett, his Irish ass, man. It don't matter.
Yeah, I'm not white enough to counterbalance everything.
Yeah.
Take a picture, put them right after the Throwdown logo. Just put a little picture there.
Yo, Brett, your fucking neck tattoos, bro. They ruin everything, man.
Oh, okay.
Gangbanger.
Idea.
That's a gangbanger fucking
You
podcast.
fucking hooligan.
Nah. Okay, here's what we do. We get like 5 stock photo white guys and get Manny to Photoshop them into a group, and we hashtag it like the Throwdown crew. See if we get more hits.
Well,
Right?
it's also got to be like bearded guys
Yeah, it's got to be
in
bearded
front,
guys.
in front of
With fedoras.
in front of a gaming wall. In front of a gaming wall. That's also got to be.
Yeah, okay. You can do this, right?
Yeah, I could do that.
Make a picture of what we're supposed to look like.
Yeah, or what? Yeah. Or ideally, should look like.
Oh man, I want to say something so bad right now, but I can't, man. We're living in this age. Oh, I'm gonna say this, and I think you guys will understand. And those white guys should be doing that big open mouth thing that everybody seems to do. You know what I'm talking about? There's a name for it, but I'm not gonna say it on air. You know what I'm talking about? It's a certain plant, Chris. If you know what I'm talking about. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Get us in trouble, man. Brett got the joke. Oh God. All right. We're just gonna go right into it, man. There's no really pre-game shit here. I was going to, I did promise a giveaway, but I didn't get that done. I was too fucking busy today. But I do have things prepared for you guys. Like I have everything set up where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give this away, this away, this away, this away. So the first thing we're gonna do is give away a keyboard, but we'll probably do that next Thursday. I want to do those during the main show, so we give you guys a full week to, indulge in it. You know what I'm saying? Let me give out some shout outs before we start here, man. Who we got in the chat, man? We got Goose in the house, Paikuhan, Violence and Empathy, and as always, Kristen is holding it down, making sure these assholes don't get out of line. So it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. So let's get into some stories, man. Okay. Okay, here's the thing about Throwdown, right? We always cover the big gaming news, even if it's about someone, not that we don't like, but someone we don't care about. And this is a perfect example because none of us are fans of this guy per se, but he's making some rounds, so we got to talk about him.
He just so happens to be the most influential gamer at this point in time.
He is. He's actually the most popular gamer on Earth, believe it or not.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. By the way,
He shows up at events that he don't even play games for.
Yeah, right. Yo, what's going on, Techno Fabulous? Call of Duty.
Pew, 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 pew.
All right, man. So let's talk about fucking Ninja. All right, so he has made some headlines this week after he tweeted out something controversial. I'm going to read what he said. He says, the phrase, "it's just a game," is such a weak mindset. You are okay with what happened, losing imperfection of a craft. When you stop getting angry after losing, you've lost twice. There's always something to learn and always room for improvement. Never settle. So that set off a firestorm. Now tonight,
He stole that from a focus group. I went to a focus group one time and they were talking.
Oh, really?
It was a motivational speaker talking about corporate work environments. So that's something that's already been set out there.
Yeah, but we're gonna get to it. We're gonna cover kind of both sides of this because everybody kind of focusing on one thing. And I'm here, I'm just gonna say now, I'm not here to defend Ninja, but I'm gonna not defend his statements, but I'm gonna clarify what he says. I know what he's coming from. Even though, again, just trying to be fair here. Anyway, Manny, I'll start with you. What do you make of his comment just initially when you heard it?
Well, I mean, to be honest, it's like he's looking at it from the wrong. He's looking at it from the wrong perspective. I mean, not everybody's into fucking gaming just to be competitive and be all bro gamer. I think he really needs to understand that there's a wider range of people. And to be honest, I'm gonna say this: those guys are not the ones that make the money. It's the guys that he's playing for that make that money. And no, most of those people are not competitive gamers. I'm going to tell you this: most of the people that watch his little show that he plays video games for people for are probably not playing that shit professionally and not playing it to be the best that they want to. They're playing it because they just want to watch it. They want to watch him and they like it too. He's literally a sitting advertisement, a living advertisement for the game that he plays, and that's what he is.
Oh man, tell me how you really feel, man.
No, I mean that's what he is, man. You know, like what is this? It's like he's getting paid to sit there and play games for people. That was what he does. He's friggin' a live commercial that lasts for 4 or 5 hours or 2 hours or wherever how long his show lasts. So if you're playing competitive, I mean, if you, and I know he's like, he was all about the competitive gaming thing, but that's a small part of the way things are. And as we've seen with games like Street Fighter and games like Mortal Kombat, games that are supposedly competitive games, when Street Fighter decided to drop all the stuff and just left the whole competitive part of it, where was it? Nobody bought it, right? But once they throw all that shit back in, everybody was like, "Oh, great, yay! I can play now," because that's the way it is. I understand. I understand the part that he's like, yeah, games or whatever. I think he said something about LeBron James or something like that, and
yeah, he said like LeBron James wouldn't say it's just a game. Basically comparing himself to like quote unquote real players. We're gonna get to that specific part a little bit later. I just want to focus on the it's just a game part right now. Brett, I heard you talking. I'm pretty sure you have some thoughts on this.
What, you think I have an opinion about something?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
What's this opinion you have?
In the years of knowing me, what would lead you to believe I have an opinion about something?
And is it just you?
Yeah, is it just you that feels this way? Oh man.
Okay. I'm just gonna lead with he's wrong.
Uh-oh.
He's not technically wrong, I guess, and technically right is, I guess, kind of the best kind of right. But here's the deal: his statement is equivalent to saying second place is just the first loser. I mean, like, yeah, I guess I can't argue that fact if you want, but it's a worldview that is, and I hate to use this word and I don't use it very much, fucking toxic. Yes, there is some good in what he says. Yes, you should learn and grow from every defeat, every time you fail, every time you don't succeed. Fuck, every time you do succeed. And you can critically analyze what you did and learn what you did better. That's growing as a person. But to look at it through this particular prism is the worst way to look at it. And honestly, I don't even have to go into a big thing about it. All I have to say is, you don't get mad, you get good.
Yeah.
That's toxic too, man. I forgot.
So for me, it's like, honestly, I think the dude is just talking about. I think he's just talking to himself, because he's mentioning LeBron James. I'm like, there's only one LeBron James. There's only like there's a fucking a small ass percentage of people who actually do this for a living, who actually thrive with this shit for a living. And it's like,
LeBron James is also good at what he does.
Yeah, he's one of the best. And like, for me, if you're talking about, I don't know, 16-year-old me in high school, where I have no other responsibilities other than fucking play video games and hang out with friends, then maybe I would have agreed with it. But now, when I'm a grown-ass man with a full-time job, trying to fucking survive in this world and get better at my job and trying to, make something out of my life, video games are just an accessory to have fun. Who are you to dictate like how I should feel about playing video games? Like, video games is your life, Ninja. It's not my life.
Yeah, he's a unique situation, and he also doesn't realize that.
Exactly.
Well, maybe it was out of context. Maybe there was somebody who was attacking him about something, who's trying to make it as a pro. Maybe that's
No,
what
I think he was responding to the fact of the term "it's just a game" is something that essentially triggered him because he feels like it's belittling. It seems like he. I think what he thinks it might belittle what he does for a living.
Yeah, it's exactly how I see it too.
Yeah. You go ahead, Chris.
He plays video games for a living. And that's what it is. It is a game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sorry, but Ninja, you don't have a life like LeBron James or any NBA star or NFL star. You didn't train and go through a college program or whatever to become an athlete and become the best. You managed to play a third-person shooter really well, and you started making money off of it. Monetize it, but other people look at that as just entertainment. That's what video games are.
Yeah, but the same could be said in Hollywood. Actors, you're good. They're professional liars, and so they're
yes,
good at
that's
it.
why they just get your award and shut the fuck up.
That's it, yeah.
You know, I don't care. I don't give a shit about them either. You're just playing pretend. Just entertain me, dance. I'll pay you my $10, and then I'm good for 2 hours.
Yeah, but out there, normally people just see them as celebrities, and they put them on these pedestals of like, oh wow, he's against animal rights, and he's been in all my favorite movies, so now I worship him. You know, we see a lot of that.
The simple don't. I don't worship Ninja. I don't give a shit about him or anyone else. He plays a game well, that's fine. But if I want to experience, I don't know. I'm from a different mindset. If I want to experience Fortnite, I would play it. I don't care about that game, so I don't play it. But games are entertainment. That's his living. That's how he chooses to live. That's fine. But don't tell other people it's not a game. Yeah, it is a game, motherfucker. You just happen to have monetized it and entertained.
Who did he tell this to?
He tweeted it. He tweeted it.
Yeah,
he tweeted it, and he talked about it on his little show.
I love how you say it's his little show. It's like the biggest fucking streaming show out there.
It's his little show.
It's
just a show, man.
Yeah, it's just a
It's
show.
just a show.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just a show.
That shit is funny, man.
I won't take anything away from him. He's really good at what he does, but he's really good at playing a video game.
Yeah. And
what else can I say about it? And he makes money off of it, but that's what it is, man. You can own it. You say this is fantastic and whatever, but just because other people look at it as just a game, so I don't know why that upsets you.
To be
still
honest,
making the same amount of money.
And to be honest, the minute this shit ain't gonna last forever. And if he's smart, he needs to put something together for his future because he probably ain't gonna be playing that shit for long. And something can definitely come along and knock that shit right off the pedestal.
To be fair, though, this guy has $140 million. I don't think he has to worry about anything.
Well, again, it's
Fortnite could die tomorrow and he'll be set for life.
Remember how he was crying the blues, how he wanted to play other games and he's forced to play. He's forced to play Fortnite.
Yeah.
Remember that shit?
Well, yeah. Well, not anymore because that's why he's on Mixer now.
No.
But he can play whatever he wants. Go ahead.
But I mean, again, it's okay. Other than just playing video games for people, what does he do? Is he the best Fortnite player? Has he won any of these big convention things?
Yeah, he is a competitive level gamer. He is
a competitive level gamer, but has he won any of those things?
I don't know if he has entered.
No, I don't think he won that.
So what the fuck is this guy complaining about in the first place? If he hasn't even won a fucking trophy or some shit.
Yeah, I think he won Halo tournaments. Yeah, no, he won Halo tournaments or whatever.
So he won Halo tournaments back in the day. But so what the fuck's he complaining about now? Don't matter.
He's complaining about it's just a game, baby.
He ain't doing shit. He ain't doing shit but playing video games for other people. So what is he the best at it? I'm sure there's a bunch of people that are better than him. So
well, he's the biggest. I don't know if they're better or not.
The only reason why he's the most well known.
Yeah, but he's also the biggest. Are those other guys on Ellen DeGeneres?
Tony.
By the way, please, I am not defending this motherfucker. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just trying to be fair here.
I just want to point out something. The people who are the best in their perspective thing, 90% of the time, aren't highly publicized.
No one's questioning that.
There are a lot of people in the professional, say motocross circuit Nobody knows who the fuck they are. They don't care when people are like, oh, it's just, or even minor league baseball or minor league football. Most people don't know who they are. But here's the thing. Those people go, they put in their best, they collect their paycheck, and they're happy about it because they're getting paid to do something that they enjoy doing. It doesn't matter if they're the fucking Michael Jordan of it or not. It doesn't matter if they get all the recognition. If he were just a pure competitive gamer, and I understand this comment of you need to win, but that's in the context of if you're a pure competitive gamer relying on this for your financial needs. At that point, literally, no, at that point, it's not a game. It's literally your rent and the ability to go to the doctor. For you at that point, it is much more than a game, which I can understand you saying something in that context, but if that's what he was trying to put forth, then it doesn't make any sense. What he wants is fucking recognition to stroke his ego.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
That's what.
By the way, just real quick, Brett. Obviously, I know that you don't have, just because you're the most well known doesn't mean you're the best. I just hope no one's misconstruing that. I never said that.
Yeah,
That's just stupid. By the way, you know how many people there are a lot of top name video game journalists, right? I know plenty of motherfuckers that are better than them that are lower down on the tier. So no one's questioning that. But but here's the thing. And, I just need to get my 2 cents in here because I kind of pretty much agree with the rest of you guys. He is looking at this from a competitive gamer standpoint, right? So in that sense, he is, like Brett said, he is right about that. It's if you're a competitive gamer, or in his case, if you're making money off of this shit, it isn't just a game. It's like you're living. So I get that. But at the same time, he needs to understand that most of these kids that watch him, let's just be honest, I'm not disparaging the guy, his audience is fucking children, right? Most of the kids that watch him are not competitive gamers. They don't even play Fortnite. They just watch Fortnite. They watch this dude play Fortnite, right? So it's weird that he makes this statement to his audience that are 99.9% not competitive gamers. You know what I'm saying?
This sounds as stupid as, remember the Ricky Bobby NASCAR movie with Will Ferrell? Remember his father? This is his father's advice. If you're not first, you're last. This is that. He's telling these kids, hey, you always have to win, and you have to have the mindset of a winner or whatever. It's no, people don't enter stuff like that being I have to be the best. No, you just play a game, you find out you're good at it, and maybe you're oh, you know what, I'm going to focus on this and then improve the skills and whatever. But still, you enter it as a game. He's saying, no, fuck that. If you think that you're a loser, okay.
Again, it's if you're a competitive gamer, okay, I get it. But it's bro, most of the people that you're talking to, the majority of them are regular fucking gamers. And what do regular gamers play games for? For fun.
But that's what I'm thinking. Somebody may have asked him a question.
No, I think it's something. I'm pretty sure
he just reacted.
Yeah, he just reacted. Right? Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. To something we don't know that something. It must have been.
Yeah, but that's irrelevant at this point. Let's just be honest.
It all makes sense because this sounds like a reply to some.
Yeah, well, he's not replying. He just put it out there. But I'm pretty sure he hears this all the time. Oh, it's just a game. It's just a game. It's just a game. And he just went pop.
I think the thing about it is that he also doesn't have any sort of he makes this sort of statement, and he doesn't even have a horse in this race. He's not even competing. What's he competing at? He's not competing at anything. All he does is just sit down in front of
he's competing against other people that are streaming. He wants to.
He's competing against them. But
he beat those guys already, though.
But it doesn't. He's competing. The only thing, he's competing with other streamers. But
Goose, I did read the entire tweet, bro. I read the entire fucking tweet. What are you talking about?
The thing is that he's competing with other streamers, but the thing is that this statement doesn't make any sense when it comes to other streamers. This thing makes it sound like he makes a living at actually going to conventions and playing, going to these events and playing games. And
he did win when he was with Final Boss.
He did win. But what is he now?
What is he now winning?
He doesn't need to win. Because
it doesn't work like that in life. You keep going. You keep winning.
No. You understand? It doesn't matter. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if he wins or loses. His audience, it will watch regardless. He doesn't need.
People will drop off. They'll get bored of him and follow somebody else.
That's why. But I'm saying, he doesn't. He officially is at the point that he doesn't. He can play anything he wants. So he doesn't have any sort of yes, it's great that he would win here and there, but he doesn't need to win. It's not about him winning or losing. It's really just about how many viewers are actually watching.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that, I am gonna have to disagree with that. And I hate to be defending this motherfucker. If Ninja was always losing, he would lose a shit ton of people.
No, but I'm not saying
because again, just to be fair, the guy. Let me finish. Part of the reason people watch this guy is because he is a high level player. When you watch him, he is a high level player. Just to be fair to this guy,
he's a high level player. But at the same time, if he loses a few rounds of the thing, he could just be okay. This is not my day today. But that's not going to affect the people watching him.
Dude, 100,000. He lost 100,000 people because he didn't stream for a single day. You think they won't drop off because he starts losing? They will. You know.
I don't think I think that his win to lose. I think he wins more than he loses. But I think that I think.
But if it was the other way around, I'm guaranteeing you.
Obviously, if he was if he was losing all the time, yeah, he wouldn't be attracting people.
But he's whack. I want to follow.
Again, the reason Ninja even rose to prominence in the first place is because he is a high level Fortnite player. That's how he got there in the first place. And then Drake, found him, and then everything took off. But before that, how did Drake find out about him? Because he was a high level player.
He wanted to roll with somebody who's that good.
Yeah,
and that's how it started.
Just being fair to the guy. Which is fucking. Just being fair to the guy.
And then the way he sees it is that he has to stay at that level. He has to compete. Yeah, he's not going to win all the time, but he has to still be of quality, or else people will be like, this motherfucker guy, he's whack.
Yeah, he's whack. Yeah.
Next, we see it all the time in everything else, in sports and music. Kids are kids; they don't give a shit. They move on to the next thing.
I think in general, it's just he got a little overzealous over this thing. I really think he shouldn't even given that sort of thing even any sort of attention, because I think he feels like it belittles what he does. To be honest, it's like I think it's like, dude, you are beyond even that. So why is this even bugging you?
It might maybe while he was doing a stream, some people were saying some shit in the comments, and he said fuck it, and he went on Twitter and he just let loose. He was pissed.
Could be that,
because it sounds like this was a very aggressive, I'm fucking pissed comment. Like, this is what's going on. This was in his head, and he has the right to say that. If this is how he's feeling and this is his logic.
Well, no one's saying.
He does have the right to say it, but at the same time, it also. But remember, we live in a world. The things that you say can affect your brand.
Yeah, but this is not affecting anything. I agree.
No, it does. It can affect your brand.
Yeah, but he didn't say anything negative.
People can see that as a negative.
People did see this as negative,
and people did see it. It's the only reason why we're even talking about it, because people did see this thing as something.
People want to find anything, but no, I don't see it.
I think again, it can because also, like I said before, not everybody who's watching Ninja is a competitive player.
But what he says applies to life in general. Why do you go to school? Why go to college? Why get a degree unless you're trying to win and achieve better goals in your life? Why?
Yeah, but that's school.
That's different. That's a BS. That's a BS argument, because when it comes to gaming, there's only one winner. In life, there's multiple winners. People, of course. Like, if you do what you want to do, if you want to be an engineer and you get to do an engineer, if you get to be an artist, a journalist, whatever, you win.
You got to work toward it. You got to work toward it.
But when you're playing, real quick, when you're playing basketball, there's only one winner at the end of the day every year. And
this goes back to he's talking about competitive gaming here. Like, obviously, just real quick, if you're trying to be an engineer, like, you are kind of competing, but it's not a competitive field like basketball or football. Anyway, go on, Brett.
Even then, that's only if you want to be a complete fucking asshole. That's that throat cutting, do anything to get ahead fucking reason that we live in the bleak ass dystopia that we do right now. You don't, like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to, like, press personal advice on anybody. But if you believe this shit, then fuck you. You're a goddamn megalomaniac.
I believe in it. I do. I'm a maniac. I believe.
Well, then I'm sorry to say it. Then you're part of the problem. Here's the thing.
Throwdown, baby.
I will cut throats. I will cut throats. I will fire people if I don't like their face.
Here's the thing. It's not about...
Yo, it's Apprentice in this bitch, man. You're fired.
Yo, man, that's how you have to make it in this world.
No, it's not. That's the problem. That's the reason we're all each other's throat. Look, I wasn't raised...
In fact, I'm going to give him a like for that comment. I approve.
You're just going to keep smart-assing over there.
Yeah, let him talk, Adam. Come on, man.
Yeah, okay. Look, here's the thing. I was raised with a couple of rules. One, you always do your best. If you put in 100% effort, that's all anybody can ask of you. So that's doing a good job. So did you do your best? Did you play the right way? Did you resort to cheating? Did you hurt people? Are you an asshole? No? Well then, if you did the best that you could and you did things the right way, that's how you be a good man. That's how you be a good person. It's not as black and white about as winning and losing. You can win the wrong way and still be wrong. That's the point that nobody's taking away from this. Yeah, it's great to fucking win. And it's great to take a lesson away if you don't win. And you should aim to win. But that falls under the umbrella of doing your best. It has nothing to do with the end results. Especially as a kid. Because when you're a kid, you're not playing for keeps, right? When you're an adult, there are black and white situations. Look, I tried my best not to hit that pedestrian. Doesn't fucking work. But in general theme of life, like, look, if you try your best to get into a certain med school, and you study, and you do things the right way, and for some reason or another, you didn't hit some sort of quota, where, you know, like, maybe they needed more in-state students, and you were just over the bar on out-of-state students. That's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. You should be proud of the effort that you put in, proud of the work that you put in, and you should learn from the thing that kept you from succeeding. But this is all lost. All this nuance is fucking lost in the idea that when people say, like, oh, if you're not winning, you're losing. No shit, Sherlock. But there's a whole mountain of subtlety buried underneath there that is the fundamental basis on how we get along and how you be a decent human being. And if we're just going to lose sight of all of that just to see who can climb to the top of the fucking pile of dead bodies faster, then whoop-de-fucking-do, you're king of shit mountain. But that's not the way I want to play my life, and I don't agree with other people preaching that that's the way that other people should play their life. Sometimes it's better to try and be a good person and make the world a little bit better. That may be naive and stupid of me still
Being
at
good
my
is weak.
fucking age.
Yeah, Adam, what's your retort, bro?
Nah, man, there's no point in that. You got to keep going. It's a dog-eat-dog world. That's the whole thing. Whether you go to school, get a degree, look for a job, you are competing with the other people that are applying to that job. Once you get the job and you want to get promoted up, you are competing with the others in the office to get the promotion. Yeah, that's just the way it is in everything. So if these people are coming at him saying, hey, well, what you're doing really doesn't matter. It's like, hey, he has to do this. He has to play hard. He has to keep going to stay relevant so that way he can make his money, or else some other Joe Schmo who has a streaming channel will get all the endorsement deals and get all the traffic. That's just the way it is. He is a dime a dozen.
Let him finish. Brett, let him finish. Keep going, Adam.
Yeah, so he knows that. He knows it. Look, every other day we're seeing another new hotness for Twitch or wherever on YouTube, just streaming, and everybody flocks. We see it with apps. We see it with games. That's why Fortnite, all the developers are banging their heads against the wall and nonstop working because they have to keep doing the updates, because if not, these kids will just lose focus, move on to something else. So if he sends his message out, hey, no, you got to be the best, you got to strive, you got to do this, that's basically him saying, this is what I'm fucking doing. He's sitting in front of that screen playing 15, 20 hours. You know, it may not seem like work for most people because it's just a fucking game, but this is how he makes his money. He has to have a certain amount of numbers. I'm sure that's linked with his endorsements. Probably say, hey, you got to have a certain amount of views of this video or else you're not going to get some odd amount of money. This is what he has to do. And I agree with it. Hustle, man. He's doing the hustle.
So when you agree that a man who's given a large platform to mostly children should be preaching the power of the almighty dollar above everything else and ultra competitive.
It's part of life, man. Behavior. If it's not him, somebody else needs to do it because that's the reality. No one's going to
Okay, so let me ask you. When you're dead and gone, how many people are going to give a fuck about how many promotions you got?
I will. So I'm doing it for myself.
You'll be dead, bruh.
I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. I did for myself. I'm not here to make a mark for others. It's for me. I just told you that.
But I mean, are you okay? I'll ask a personal question. Are you the best at what you do?
No.
Then do you consider yourself a loser?
Damn right.
Damn, Adam.
Damn right. I should be doing more. I always strive to do more. That's why I'm always doing all these other projects. I always keep pushing, try to do more. Same thing with the job. Same thing.
That's respectable, you know.
That's your prerogative, man. But I mean, I'm not like shit. If you have that mentality, then you're never going to be satisfied with life.
I am never satisfied.
And honestly, like, that's...
This is what you want to teach children?
That's the way it is. My kids are already in that mode.
By the way, real quick, here's the thing. By the way, I'm not going as far as Adam saying I'm a loser, but I'm a fucking winner. But at the same time, you shouldn't be, settled with life. You shouldn't be happy because you should always try to be better. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me fucking finish, man. Like, basically, I've always said, if I, like, for example, I'm going to use game journalism as an example. If I ever get the point where I think I'm the best writer, I'm fucking done because I want to keep getting better. I want to keep striving to be better. Not the best that, in the world, just the best I could be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, but I think that's what Ninja is trying to say. I don't think he's trying to say, kill everybody.
He's talking about being the winner and not just being the best at what you could do. That's the big difference of what you're saying.
Life.
Just the old saying, it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you the game.
Yeah, but again, by the way, I think, and again, I hate the fact that I'm defending this motherfucker. We got to read the last part of what he says. I think that's getting lost in the shuffle here. There's always something to learn and always room for improvement. Never settle. I don't think anybody could disagree with that.
I don't disagree with that. I think that the fact that he told everybody that they're weak because they think game is a game.
No, he didn't say people weak. He said that mentality is weak.
That mentality is weak. Yeah. I think that in general is a trigger word right there.
Yeah, the weak part.
Whenever you say something, somebody or somebody else, something or something else or somebody is weak.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I didn't have a problem with his statement. I just felt like it was coming from a competitive gamer standpoint, and it wasn't like something that anybody could agree with. You know what I'm saying? That was my thing. I'm like, you know what I'm saying, Chris? I'm like, yo, Ninja, like, you should be aware of the fact that what you said, though correct technically for your vocation, is not applicable to 99% of the people who watch you,
Right. If you're in the, like, he's talking about athletes, if you're in the locker room saying that shit, like, if you go out there and think this is just a game, that's a weak mindset. If you're saying that to your teammates, that's one thing. That's absolutely right. That's good advice because this is your job. You're competitive. If he was talking to his teammates, that's one thing. But he's talking to his audience, a whole bunch of kids, just playing games, right? Just enjoying life. I think that sends a weird, bad message out there. Like that's talk reserved for your teammates or your peers in competitive gaming.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
All right. I want to move on to the second part of the statement that we're talking so much about Ninja tonight, but it's got to be done. Where he basically compared himself to, like, quote unquote actual athletes. What do you guys say about that? Because I'm still conflicted about this. I still don't know how to feel about it. Like, on the one hand,
Bobby shit.
What happened, Brett?
This is some Ricky Bobby shit.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, like,
I think it was who said it? Was it Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he fucking hit the nail on the head. Like, everything about this is just Ricky Bobby shit.
Yeah, right. But here's the thing: it's like on the one hand, like, Ninja is not doing anything like, physical, like in traditional sense, like basketball, football, baseball, whatever, right? But at the same time, he puts in a lot of hours to train to get good. So just like a regular, real athlete would. So how is he not an athlete? But at the same time, he has sponsors a lot. But at the same time, he is not physical like those other guys. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. I still don't know how to answer this question. Basically, like, are esports athletes actual athletes? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because in some aspects they are, in other aspects they're not.
Who cares?
Remember the people who did the robots?
Is that where we draw the line?
Robot Wars?
Oh, no. Well, Brett, let's just be... I mean, you are right. Like, generally, it doesn't really matter, but this is a topic that comes up again and again and again and again.
Anybody want me to read the definition on Merriam-Webster?
Do it. Read it.
Oh, no. Before you do that, Brett, go ahead.
It's competitive anything. Like, like competitive rocket launch and competitive kite flying.
I was just about to say that.
Chess,
are competitive chess guys considered athletes?
It's
It's
we don't have a term. So yes, because we don't have a term for academic athletes. Athlete has become synonymous with physical activity and physical sport, but it doesn't. It did originally. It has nothing to do with games, other than some games are played physically. Like athlete could be somebody who's not even playing a game; they're competing in a competition.
Yeah, or competitive golf is like golf is not exactly physical like that, you know.
Well, do they call them athletes?
Are they
golfers? Yeah.
Oh no, golf's definitely an athlete.
Yeah. Shoulder.
Yep,
but I mean, like, you know, what takes more energy, like golfing or gaming? You know, all those button clicks and all that
golfing.
shit.
Golfing. All that upper body strength you need.
Okay. Why does it have anything to do with physical activity?
Oh, I don't know. Because I guess that's because it's a traditional thing. Again, I'm asking a question because I actually don't know the answer myself.
So they consider
I'm not asking. I'm not asking this to society.
Let me answer your question.
Okay, the dictionary definition, right?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, athlete, a person who is trained or skilled in exercises, sports, or games requiring physical strength, agility, or stamina.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Why the fuck do gamers insist on calling themselves athletes?
Okay, so you don't believe that
that way they can make them marketable.
No. If you're a competitive baker, you don't insist on being called a fucking athlete.
Yeah, but they also don't. Bakers don't ask to be on ESPN.
No, and that's the point. The gamers are trying to ride the coattails that large organized sports have put forward, and I understand that. But hand-fisting the word athlete into what you're doing is not helping your cause because it's blatantly untrue. You run in competitive events. Yes, they're quick. Yes, they require reflex and skill and planning. You know what? So do other things. All right.
So do chefs.
Yeah, chefs.
Yo, I'm sorry, Brett. You killed me with the competitive baking shit.
It does exist.
No. It's not the competitive. It's not the competitive baking part that's made me laugh. It's like a competitive baker saying he's an athlete. That's what fucking. I'm fucking done, bro.
You see them running around the kitchen and whipping up real quick.
Yo, imagine Emerald Lagasse and shit.
I'm the greatest baking athlete ever created.
Right? Imagine you said that shit.
You're a fucking cake boss and shit. I'm an athlete over here.
He has tournaments and stuff, right? He has competitions.
Yeah,
but he's not an athlete.
They're obviously competitors
fucking
of
Martha
a certain
Stewart
nature.
and shit.
Martha Stewart is the greatest athlete ever.
Yeah, like, okay, who here would actually be, other than Adam, be able to keep a straight face if somebody came in there like, yeah, man, I'm an athlete. They came in like, wear like a jersey and tie, like, yeah, man, I'm an athlete. Like, what do? Tabletop? Tennis? Yeah. Oh, okay.
If he does ping pong, that's ping pong. That's in the Olympics.
Yeah, but do you think those guys? Do you legitimately think those guys are athletes?
That's fucking hard to move fast like that.
Nah, Brett. That's that. I think. I mean, I would give them the benefit of the doubt for.
Yeah, no, you got to stick with the baking, man. That was
No. I know. I'm trying to bring it closer to reality. I'm not going to argue with them.
If you said tabletop gaming, like Magic the Gathering, should be on ESPN.
Yeah, there you go.
You're an athlete. You're a card athlete.
Okay,
no. Here's the thing: if somebody introduced themselves to you as an athlete first, and then you found out that they did competitive ping pong, at least part of your brain would be like, okay, but really though,
no, you do a lot of running.
I know you do, but still, am I the only one that would look at it and be like, dude, you just came here like an athlete, like you did a real sport?
Yo, I have a question. This is gonna sound really stupid, but think about it. Are competitive hot dog eaters athletes?
No.
I mean,
why not?
Physical endurance, you gotta train for that shit.
I can't eat 53 hot
dogs. Adam, I can't eat 53 hot dogs,
He's a pro. That guy, whoever's doing it, he knows how to deep throw. Boom, boom. Just say, the guy can do it. He's got the glow. I can't.
You feel it.
Adam, what about professional or competitive cup stackers?
Oh my god!
That requires about as much endurance and dexterity as ping pong does.
No. Because in ping pong, you have to run and you have to move and you have to constantly swivel your hip like this. And you got
so it's hip swiveling.
You gotta move your hips.
Yes, you got to do a lot of movement. Did you not see them? They're sweating up a storm when they play.
Not far as Gump.
Oh my god!
Telling you, see these Koreans go at it, fucking nuts, man.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna reach a consensus here tonight.
Everything's not a fucking sport. Everybody's not an athlete.
I can't say that a gamer, a competitive gamer, is an athlete, but there is a word for it. There is a word for what they do that is not athletic. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think.
Remember,
go ahead.
The first time this ever came up in my head to even this discussion to think about it was when I first started seeing poker on ESPN. And they were like world poker tours and these pros, and they're giving like stats, like they're baseball players stuff. Like, oh,
but they never say that they're athletes, though.
Yeah, no, but it's still on ESPN, which is all about sports. Why is this listed as a sport? Why am I watching it on this channel? And
I think
it's a game. It's a game, and people like games and sports most of the time. It's a game. Baseball, football.
Well, it's a game. It's a game. It's competitive, but I think that's the uniting factor of why it's something that's on ESPN.
Yeah, it's a game, and I think that's
it's something to root for. You know, like, hey, look, this guy. Oh, this guy's going to this. But you can't call a professional poker player an athlete.
Well, no, you can't. But they're making.
But some might say you can't call a professional wrresler an athlete.
Oh no, they're working out.
Acrobatics and stuff.
But I think that it's like, why don't you see something like Magic the Gathering on there? You can't call Magic the Gathering or playing Dungeons and Dragons, even all those things which are competitive, can be competitive. But they're not athletes, though.
It's gonna have some money behind it.
Yo, man, where's that professional Dungeons and Dragon player?
There you go. Where is he?
The Master Dragon Master.
He's out in Denmark, still trying to make it. Who knows? Who knows?
But yeah, I think there's a word that needs to be created to define somebody who essentially plays a game plays a game that doesn't involve full on physical action.
But it just proves that there's money behind it, and that's why it grew. I mean, everybody wanted to watch pros play games. That's
but you want to know why the competitive gaming has kind of gone up. It's because kids like to see themselves do these things.
That's it.
Look at all the people. Look at all the people. The competitive gamers. You don't really see like guys. Maybe there's a couple of guys that are in our age range. But there's not many. Most of them are young bucks. They're going out there doing that thing. But a lot of those guys, just like in Korea, they all fry out once they start hitting their 30s and and later.
You make your money young, and that's something that you could say you did when
you were
younger.
I think the biggest thing is that why it's become so big is because kids like to see young people.
Well, it's something that they can do quick, and it's something they can do.
It's something they can do quick.
We've all said it. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm going to make money from home." That's always been the thing. Well, now you can actually do it. If you can kick ass in the game, and you just plug in and you do a Twitch, and everyone's following you, you can make some money.
It's also the same. It's also the same way sort of YouTube sort of works too, where it kind of gives this sort of idea, like, okay, I don't need to do. I can do that too, and I think that's why it's kind of reached
and that's why it's competitive, because there's so many people saying the same shit. I can do that.
So I don't think anybody here is arguing, whether it's competitive or not.
It's a competitive event, but how does that make it a sport?
Yeah, or athletic. I think that's the point.
Yeah. I mean, like how does it make you an athlete?
Mm-hmm. Hand-eye coordination.
I think we're kind of hitting on it here. I think we do need a new term for this.
There needs to be a word for it.
Yeah.
Let's come up with a fun word like from Harry Potter.
The gumble glob or something, whatever the fuck they call the thing.
Quidditch.
Yeah.
Quidditch.
All right, man. Let's move on, man. All right. Regular
Fiddler.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. So let's talk about Sony. They're canceling 2020. It seems like.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah. So because
are we just gonna jump straight to 2021?
Yeah, pretty much. Because right now because of the coronavirus, they are skipping PAX East, which is this week, and GDC, which I believe is next week. And by the way, they were supposed to show The Last of Us 2 at PAX East, so I'm guessing that's not going to happen now because Sony's not going to be there.
What? Why don't they do what Microsoft used to do, where if you weren't at the event, you can just download the demo on the Xbox Live service, and everybody gets to play. They should do that with Last of Us 2.
They're probably coming up with an alternative on trying to do this, because that's a lot of money to kind of essentially like they had to
pay for it. They paid.
They paid for the space and all that. So does that mean in PAX East it's just going to be a big empty space in the empty?
I guess
unless they can find somebody to fill the spot, unless there's somebody.
Because if
this late,
it's if you looked at like
breakdance, have a tournament.
If you looked at how much games that they actually had listed, they had like a shitload of stuff.
They had a bunch of games. They had a bunch of games. Yeah, and PAX, I mean, for you guys listening, on Friday, it's today, today's the first day. And Sony's just not going to be there. I'm very curious. If you guys are listening to the show or watching the show, if you're at PAX, please, send us pictures from PAX, just because we want to see that hole. Basically,
I want to. Yeah, like if there's shit. What did they do to fill that shit in?
Rich is going to be there. So,
all right. So, okay, we'll get for a field report from Mr. Richard Bailey Jr.
Yeah.
But this coronavirus shit, listen, we're not going to get into, some of the shit we talk about off air, Chris. You know what I'm talking about?
Listen.
But the thing is, realistically speaking, I'm just going to throw this out there. Could this affect, the PlayStation 5? Because where is that assembled? In China, if this shit gets out of hand?
It's going to affect everything. It's going to affect Xbox. It's going to affect
Nintendo, everything.
Every single bit of tech that's made out there in China.
Yeah, especially some of the shit we've heard, about the actual death toll out there. You're like, yo.
Man.
Shit is
even
crazy.
iPhones are talking. Apple was talking about that they're going to see their numbers drop this quarter because of that. They can't manufacture. People
literally the biggest the biggest manufacturer on this planet is literally sick right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is insane, But
I think Nintendo opened up. Not Nintendo. Yeah, it was Nintendo. They opened up some other factories, or they hired some other companies out in Taiwan. So they're already looking outside that area.
Yeah. The other reason I brought this story up is because I want to get you guys to take. Do you think Sony was right to do this, or do you think they were just being too cautious about it? Because I know it's Twitter, it's a bunch of bullshit going on there, but some people.
Tony.
Yeah. What's up? Can't hear me?
Rich mentioned PAX is next week, not this week.
Really? Okay. So next week. Okay.
Shout out to Richmond.
Shout out to Rich. Yeah. So scrap what I just said right there.
Rich.
So I'm getting okay. So GDC is after that, because I know PAX East.
No, I think GDC is like this weekend, isn't it?
Is it? Oh, we'll have to check about that shit. I'm not going either, so I'm not worried. What the fuck was I even asking? Now it's in my mind. Oh yeah. So do you think Sony was in the right to do this? Because to ensure the welfare of their employees, or do you think they're just being overly cautious? That's the question I want to ask you guys.
I think they're being cautious. Especially, here's the other thing: they could also be infected with that disease as well.
Apparently the people they were going to send were their American people. They were going to send people from San Francisco over, not people from Japan.
So the only thing I could think of is that it was an internal thing where they talked to some of their staff and employees that were going to go, and a lot of them probably said, "Hey, I don't feel like traveling right now." They're probably shit going on.
They're also probably thinking about the SARS outbreak that happened at PAX a few years ago too.
Oh, by the way, for GDC, Facebook is also canceling because of the same reason.
It's okay, nobody cares.
Yeah, we're gonna do Oculus. Yeah, they were gonna do Oculus over there.
Yeah, but remember Remember, PAX was one of the biggest. They did have a SARS outbreak at the PAX when SARS was pretty pretty heavy.
Isn't there always some kind of con flu? There's always because
but this is some fucking
dirty controllers.
This is beyond con flu. This is some fucking I'm not gonna say what I think.
There's always something. People always get sick, so then now it's just even more blown.
Because you got to understand about diseases is every single person brings in their own version of a virus whenever they go, or the household cold whenever they go to a place. So a crowded place like that, somebody's going to get sick from something because somebody has one version of the common cold that you don't have the immunity to yet.
Yeah. By the way, just for the sake of clarity, so PAX East is going to take place from February 27th to March 1st, right? and then GDC is March 16th to the 20th. Yeah.
Yep.
So there you go.
You know what would be cool if it's sort of like the way the arcades used to do it for a little bit. Some games did this where you can bring your own controller and just plug the shit in. It'd be cool if they had that option. It's like, hey, you have your own control, because then that way it's like, right, I'm not touching something that's been touched by 20, 30 fucking other guys with sweaty shits, sweaty hands and all kinds of stuff. Plug this shit in. That's it.
Yeah. Yo, this is interesting. So, and I'm reading this from Game Industry Biz. China-based exhibitors have also had to either cancel their presence at GDC or send North American staff to run their booths.
Yeah, because China's on quarantine.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of places are. Yeah.
Like going from mainland China, people cannot go from mainland China to Hong Kong. That's how they're really.
I think that the craziest part is that they're not really sure how this is spreading, because then there was talks that if let's say someone is sick and working on a package, could it carry over within the package, and then someone open it up, and then whatever the smell, the dirt, or whatever that's inside, can they get sick from that?
Well, that's another thing.
Yeah, hey Goose, thanks for watching, bro. You could catch us on SoundCloud, bro. Or the VOD later, man. Thanks for watching, man. But yeah, I don't. Who knows? I'm gonna keep my thoughts on what the coronavirus is to myself on air. But yo,
8BDO at East.
Yeah, yo. All I'm gonna tell you right now is because 8BDO, they always bring their shits from China, right? Yeah. When I see that DHS truck outside, I'm gonna be like, oh fuck.
You spray it down with some.
Yeah, you know what it makes me think of? That episode of the Simpsons where they had that virus from Japan. It's like you open a box and just this green cloud of fucking shit just goes over your head. I'm imagining I open up the 8BitDo box and then
Or if you get that heavy chemical smell. You ever had that where you get a case?
Oh yeah.
Smell and people are like, oh, I love that smell. You should not be smelling that. Yeah. That shit is toxic.
Yo, man. I remember one time at Comic-Con, I bought an Evangelion action figure. That shit made me break out in hives, bro.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Should not be inhaling.
Maybe that shit has shrimp or something.
Maybe it did. What I did was I dunked that thing into like a bucket of soap water, and it was fine after that.
Oh shit.
Yo, I'm telling you, man.
Well, I mean, the thing is, there's all kinds of factory dust that you might be allergic to. Sometimes it is kind of best to wash certain things off.
I'm just saying, what's up, Japan? Chinese products never did that shit to me, but maybe I'm immune to it since everything's from China anyway.
Well,
I'm still smelling my new console. All right, I've smelled every new console I've ever gotten. You can't replicate that new console smell.
Plastic foam.
Yo, can you imagine? Brett gets the PS5 and shit. He gets it on Tuesday, right? He smells it and shit, and then on Thursday, I can't make it on the show on Thursday. What happened, Brett? I smelled the PS5, bro.
I licked the cartridge.
Yeah.
Switch cartridge and licked it.
Brett, do you regret doing that? He'll be like, hell no.
He died doing what he loved.
Smelling his console. Yo,
man. All I gotta say is, man, I hope this shit fucking clears out before fucking I have to go to Japan, man. Fuck.
Oh, that's right, I forgot you.
Yo, Carlos, it's been nice knowing you, bro. I guess I don't have to worry about that bet now if you die out there,
Don't joke. Damn. Don't joke. Too soon.
That was a joke, people. That was a joke.
Yo, man. I'm sending my... you can specify things on your will. I'm gonna give this shit to someone, man.
Yo, imagine I get like a case and shit from Japan. Like, what the fuck? I opened it up from Carlos. His psych bitch, and then I just got fucked.
I know Carlos didn't mean to say like that.
It's just him coughing and you getting contaminated.
Dude, I'm not sure if you meant to say it like this, but it really sounded like you leave coronavirus to Tony in your will, and I'm just getting this like a bunch of guys in black suits, and somebody comes up to Tony and like, excuse me, sir, Carlos wanted you to have this, and then just opens a box of just green smoke that sprays at Tony.
Yo, man. All right, let's stop. Yeah, let's stop joking around because let's stop joking about it because people have actually died. You
probably remember this. Was it? Well, now it's maybe 10 years ago, but there was a a guy that had AIDS and he was sticking people. Remember? And like
I remember that. Yeah,
he was trying to get because he was bitter that he had it. He was just spreading it by poking people.
Man, shit is crazy.
There's some crazies out
crazy.
So yeah, I'm sure this is something that's happening.
Yeah, but again, just want to make it clear, we probably shouldn't be joking because people have actually died. So we don't mean anything by it. It's just Carlos, I don't want you to die, bro. But
I've long said the only way to deal with some of the most terrible and tragic situations is to try and find the silver lining of humor. So, and this comes from somebody who caretook for 2 people with cancer. So, mean no disrespect whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's terrible, and the only thing we can try and do sympathies and try not to be scared shitless of it.
Yeah,
so that's what
man.
we're doing. So I hope nobody took offense to it.
Yeah, just getting that clear because you know how the internet is now, But you know how our fans obviously know, but anybody who may be listening, who is not familiar with our crazy ass sense of humor might be like, oh, what the fuck is wrong with those guys? But either case, yeah, I think this shit, if it keeps going like this, it's already having an effect. So, and both, again, because, by the way, I've seen it on Twitter. These guys like, oh, yeah, we're not going to get the PS5 because that's a Asian console. We're still going to get the Xbox. Where do you think they make the Xbox, motherfucker?
What do you think? Same fucking factory, homeboy.
Yeah, they're not making it in Phil Spencer's house, They're making it.
But I have to say the original Xbox was made in Mexico. They opened up a factory in Mexico. I don't know if they still use Mexico.
But no, they use the same place as they've been using the same place since the 360. They've been using what's that place? Not Tenzin. What the fuck is that place?
Foxconn.
Yeah, Foxconn's been doing them. Foxconn not only makes consoles, they make both consoles. They also make iPhones and the Samsung devices.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I got Samsung everywhere, man.
Yeah, man.
Excuse me.
They make a lot of devices. Like it doesn't matter what brand it is. It's all made in
It's all made in China. It's all made in China.
I have some.
Yeah. Oh man. Anyway, I think we're good. There's Sony. Man. Sony is again. They got a console coming out 2020 and like nothing. We got a fucking logo. That's all we got.
Oh, can I just mention something real quick? Also,
no.
No,
motherfuckers, macho. All right, go ahead.
So like, this is how I'm thinking about it. They're canceling all of these things because they don't want any negative press whatsoever before they announce their console. Like, I don't think they.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That sounds like some. Yeah, sure.
That sounds about right, actually. Yeah.
It's like okay, let's say for example GDC or PAX, well especially PAX because that place gets fucking packed.
That's also Virus Central. Come on,
PAX, bro. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about cons real quick, right? Because there's always body odor, right? Usually, at least from my experience, I smell body odor starting at the end of the second day, right? First time I went to PAX, 10 a.m. The shit already open. Funk everywhere. Grajo and shit. Like, damn, we're already starting this early. So I believe that with PAX, and like Manny said, that shit broke out a few years ago, bruh. I think you're right, Carlos. They're trying to avoid any negative press.
Because just on the off chance that I'm not even going to say off chance, but on the possibility that a fucking PAX outbreak comes out and then Sony is included in that thing, it's just I think they're just trying to avoid everything. Yeah, they don't want anything to be able to,
But at the same time, it's like you got a new system coming out. You got to do something. Do you think they're going to have to start maybe relying on state of play a little bit harder just to get the word out there? Because at this point, the only guys who know about PlayStation 5 are the hardcore guys like us.
They should be doing some kind of other event. Streaming, sort of like a direct.
It has to be, if they're worried about this shit.
Something. Yeah,
gotta do something.
An event hosted by Jeff Keighley.
Okay, am I the only one that thinks that maybe Sony's using this as an out? Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Yeah, go ahead, Brett. What's your question?
Am I the only one that thinks that maybe Sony's taking it easy out here so that they don't?
Yes, that's a conspiracy. That's a tinfoil hat theory. Yeah, that this is all bullshit, and they're using this as an excuse.
Hey, I wouldn't put it past them, to be honest.
Wait, hold on. What? That Sony's taking it easy for what?
That they just decided that this is a good, easy way to get out of it because they're not fully prepared to
okay.
announce whatever they want to
prepare.
Is
that what people are saying now?
Yes. Yeah, a lot. Because
I don't know if I'm going to subscribe to that.
For one, because like you mentioned, the people that are going are not all coming from overseas.
No, they're all from San Francisco. Yeah.
Exactly. They're like, come on now, you can't have just some of them. You can't do something. You can't have a.
But at the same time, to cancel so fucking like abruptly, the shit's next week. You know,
I know.
Like that's millions of dollars.
They were knowing that, well, only if they were going to show something good. If they were going to show up and know that they were just going to show
maybe something didn't look good. Maybe last.
Hold on! I'm stopping the show right now.
Now we're getting tinfoil hatty right now.
We're going conspiracy theory.
That they weren't prepared, and this was an easy out.
I'm not going to jump in on that, but that's kind of crazy to think
Dude,
that.
you see, they saw Facebook do it immediately. They're like, "Hey, here's an avenue."
No. To be fair, Sony backed out first from PAX before Facebook backed out of GDC. Just to be fair, yeah.
So this happens, and they see a way that they can avoid negative press without having to look like they're coming up handed. So they can take the high road and not have to show the fact that they're not ready. If Last of Us got delayed and they were just going to show the same old shit again, they know that they're getting bad press because Microsoft is releasing information and they've got nothing but a logo and promises. So other than instead of sitting there,
but this was going to be playable Last of Us 2. You think like the demo was fucked up or something?
That's the theory that this maybe wasn't.
Again, you guys know how I am about conspiracy theories. I don't like subscribing to them. Let me ask you this:
if they didn't have Last of Us to lean on, if it for some reason wasn't playable or wasn't playable well or hit a hitch, what do they have?
They had a bunch of other shit, remember how we talked about how Sony has a bunch of indie games? They had a bunch of indie games there,
Sony, to go against yours, that would say, you know what, that wasn't the issue, is if we do get this game as a playable demo during PAX on our PSN. If they say, hey, guess what?
Listen.
We can't make it there, but this is what you would have played if you were there. Go ahead.
I would be, don't get me wrong, I would be delighted to do that. And what I'm about to say now is, as someone who's a big PlayStation fan, Sony is not that fucking generous, man.
They've never done this, though. They've never done this. They've never canceled.
No, you're right about that. They've never done this, but I really don't see Sony being that generous.
Just
with
think
that
of all the people that paid money and just because they wanted to get
like. When have they done this before?
They've never.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
This is all a first, so it could happen.
I see what you're saying. Hold on, again, I see what you're saying, but I really don't see Sony going, "Hey, here's the free demo, guys."
Here's something I want to point out too. Like a lot of conspiracy theories and tinfoil hattery is kind of bullshit. It is kind of bullshit. Tinfoil haberdashery, is that better?
Haberdashery, what we will.
Tinfoil haberdashery.
Haberdashery.
So here's the thing. A lot of times when you talk about it, you roll back to the okay, but really, because how much do I have to know?
You're cutting out, bro.
No, man.
I said it comes back to you're like, okay, really, because how much we're gonna have to know about it?
How many people have to know about this?
We're gonna have to be quiet about this. In this case, it's very few. It could be two executives meeting in a fucking office saying, Jim, we really got
Jim Dick. Ryan, head of Sony right now, or head of PlayStation, yeah.
We ain't really got dick, and we keep catching bad reviews and a lot of slack for, not really having anything. I know we were going to parade out a lot.
Hey, Dream's got a 90 on Metacritic, sir. I'm being an asshole right now.
But if the problem is we're not releasing anything new and we're catching slack for not releasing anything new, here's an idea. How about we put a humanitarian spin on it, make us look like the good guys? We'll just pull out, we'll blame it on this whole coronavirus thing, and we'll save face in front of the shareholders. It takes like 2 people to do. And then they pass that down the chain of command, and all anybody hears is, Sony's worried about the coronavirus. Nobody says anything, nobody asks any questions, fucking nothing. It wouldn't be an impossible thing to pull off. It wouldn't be this secret, Illuminati fucking meeting. They wouldn't have to bring in all of Sony. It'd take 2 people to say, hey, I'd rather catch flack for losing money, quote unquote, doing something humanitarian, which the stockholders can't really get pissed off about because it's out of our control, versus coming up shorthanded. It's not really that far-fetched.
No, you're right, but the thing is...
I'm not saying it's absolutely true. I'm just saying can't dismiss it for being ridiculous because if you think about it.
Oh, I'm not saying it's ridiculous. I'm just saying I'm not going to buy it. But the thing is, this is all predicated on that Sony has nothing to show. As far as we know, they did have something to show. So saying they don't have something to show. No. What are you talking about? They were going to show The Last of Us 2. You know,
yeah,
but again, but Brett, that's where the conspiracy theory comes from. That The Last of Us 2 is not ready to be shown. That's what I'm getting at. Understand?
Is that so unbelievable?
Yeah, it kind of is. Like, yo, you should have had this shit ready already. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know about that.
Delay it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, didn't we literally
but a demo?
Already
Yeah, but a demo, dude. Like, again, I don't think we should just say, oh, they didn't have The Last of Us 2 ready. That's why they're canceling.
You play demos that are broken and have crashed.
No, demos that they have at shows that. Yeah, actually, no, you're
like
right.
Street Fighter 5.
Yo. No, Street Fighter 5 did it crash on me? I don't think so.
I'm just talking about Adam's experience from
actually, there is something that crashed on me, but I can't talk about that on fucking air. Who knows? But again, I don't want to jump on that boat. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is, Sony, you need to start getting out there because it's looking really fucking weird when Microsoft is getting all these headlines about their new console and you have a fucking logo. That's all you got. It's really
fucking weird unless you have a good excuse like the.
Yo, man, that's a good logo.
It is a good logo.
That's what I'm thinking. So just to go, well, no.
Yeah, last thing, and then we got to move on. Yeah,
we gotta wait.
We got to wait for what?
I don't know what I'm talking about. Though.
Okay,
there's something about Uncle Phil, but we'll talk about Uncle Phil later.
By the way, what was the quote? What was the Brett quote? Is like all they've shown is a fucking logo and empty promises.
Empty promises.
That shit, that's perfect.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking about the PlayStation, speaking about the PlayStation 5, so our friends over at Digital Foundry, they're pretty much speculating that the system is going to cost $500. Manny, you saw that video, didn't you?
I didn't watch that one. No.
Okay.
Because I was like,
because 500, and he's like, nope.
Well, no, I mean, I didn't watch it because it was all cheesy speculation. I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah, the reason I'm bringing this up is because we didn't get to really talk about this on the last show because the news came out on Friday. We do shit on Thursday. We did talk about it on the last answer your questions though. So anyway, Bloomberg, yes, the company related to what do they call him now? Little Mike, Big Mike, Chris. What the fuck do they call this guy?
Mini Mike.
Mini Mike, yeah, or Doomberg. That's the other one they're calling him. I call him an asshole. That's what I call him. Fuck that guy.
I call him El Presidente. I voted for him 18 times. Keep it rolling.
Guy's a dick. I fuck that guy. He just like, oh, I'm gonna just stay here for a third term. Why the fuck not? What are you gonna do to me?
Nobody stopped
the guy. It's like, what the fuck?
You know what's funny?
By the way, not to get too political, because remember, after 9/11 happened, right? People saying, yo, maybe Giuliani should stay for a third term after all this shit happened. Yeah. He was the first guy that said, no, you cannot be there for a third term. And then he just decided to stay. He's like, I don't want to move the furniture. Fuck that. Anyway, so Bloomberg reported that the PlayStation 5 cost $450 to manufacture. That's how much it's going to cost, right? So, you saw two sides of the argument. Some people are saying, hey, they could just take a hit of $50 and just sell it for $400, which is always the sweet spot. Or they sell for $500, which is what people are expecting it to sell, and make a profit off of it, right?
They have to make something.
Yeah.
They have to have something.
So this corresponds with Digital Foundry saying, based on their analysis, and Digital Foundry is pretty good, despite what some of the experts say, depending on what day it is, like they do a good analysis and they say the system's going to be $500. As I've said on the show, I still think, just based on history, that $500 is usually the death knell of systems, but we are living in the 2020 now, so I think people are ready for this. Like,
No,
Brett, I'm already on board. Like,
the update.
No, hold on,
No. With 500?
Yeah. Listen, I said I still think it's a bad idea, but I think the system will. Not only PlayStation 5, both the PS5 and Xbox Series X will both be $500. I am on board with that. I don't think that's a good idea, but it's going to happen. Yeah. Hold on.
I mean, wasn't it okay? So wasn't the Xbox 500?
No. Well, yeah. Look what happened to that system.
But you forgot the update.
What's the update?
The fact that all these parts, a lot of the parts are scarce for all of them, and so that's going to bring the price up to $550.
Oh, interesting. A lot
of the parts of what's going on in China.
When did that update? When did that update happen? Was that today?
This happened. That was part of the Bloomberg shortly after when they were talking about the whole thing with the manufacturing.
Gotcha.
Because of the shortage.
Oh, okay. So they're gonna have to take a hit regardless.
Yeah,
then
all of them. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's 5. So if we're just talking in general, if there was no issue, shortages and all that stuff, that's a price. But when you now count what's happening, and if that continues to happen when they start going into manufacturing, this is it. Who knows?
Well, I doubt they're going to sell that system for. I don't think they're going to sell these systems.
And then that's when, of course,
they are not going to sell any of these systems for more than $500. No fucking way.
They'll sell bundled. Like, dude, is it $600?
Yeah, look how well that did for the PS3. When they sold that shit for $600.
They should have came out with some kind of other plan though, like a trade-in or something.
But by the way, Adam, by the way, just real quick, Adam, I'm glad you said that. I think they could mitigate that. They could sell potentially a $600 console if they do some kind of like cell phone kind of payment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
you're talking about 20 years ago.
PS3 didn't come out 20 years ago. What are you talking about?
When did PS3 launch?
PS3 came out 2007.
2006.
Yeah.
2006.
Okay, sorry.
I know, right? But I still maintain that a lot of gamers still have that mindset, like, yo, I'm not paying that much for a console. Get the fuck out of here.
Everybody that was 4 years old is old enough to vote now
and
buy their own console.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
The current market for younger people, they're used to spending that amount for cell phones and stuff. So if they hear that, they're probably like,
but Adam,
Adam,
why?
For us, what we know.
But Adam, why are people willing to pay that much for cell phones? Because you don't have to pay $20 a month. If you do that for a console, then they'll be fine. They could price it $700 if they want.
The payment plans for the Xbox.
Xbox. Those consoles, they scream.
Yeah, but again, I still don't see people going, hey, yeah. Go ahead.
People were paying $600 or more for cell phones back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, when PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 and Xbox One were coming out.
Back in the day, they gave you $200.
Yeah, they always did something. They always give you like an incentive. Like usually when people, because most people when they buy a console, they pay the entire price up front.
It's up front. That's what I'm saying. It's like if they say, "Hey, we can do payment plans," and we're not talking layaway.
If they do payment plans, they can price those consoles whatever they want.
People to do it.
So again, we can't really say if they're going to do that or not. I think it would be smart. But Xbox is already doing that, Adam. They're already doing that essentially.
Yeah, they're already doing it.
Here's what I'm flexed.
Yeah.
I think next gen Xbox, brand new.
Brett, you're cutting out, bro.
Okay, sorry. You think that the brand new Xbox, the next gen one that they're about to come out and release next year with the most up-to-date equipment in it. Okay, whatever. This year. With the most up-to-date equipment in it is going to cost the same as the high-end last generation console they just released?
They have to do that because no one is going to pay $600 for a system, bro.
Uncle Phil said he's willing to go from $50 to $100 to take a hit. And he's got some big shit to announce. So I predict they're going to take the hit. It should be $500.
I think both systems are going to be $500. I don't think they're going to be more than $500. People are going to go. They're going to be fucking livid if it's more than that.
People are paying $700 for an Oculus.
Yeah, but that's like what, a couple of dudes. It's not a lot of people.
That's an enthusiast market.
Yeah, that's a super enthusiast.
We're talking about
granted, 500 is kind of already bordering on enthusiast too.
But dude, it's going to be the low SKU, like we've talked about before. They're going to come out with a better SKU, and that one's going to be $600, and enthusiasts will fucking pay it.
Yeah, the
they're
whales.
Not going to drop the price on. They're not going to drop the price on $100.
We talked about all these.
Yo, by the way, real quick, I'm going to drop this. Yo, in the chat right now, would you pay $600 for a PlayStation 4? That's just a PlayStation 5. That's not backwards compatible.
And comes with now.
Whoa. Would you pay $600 for a PlayStation 5 Pro? That's the question on the table.
Oh, by the way, PlayStation 5 Pro, I predict that's going to come out like 3 years after the regular PlayStation 5.
Let's say, okay, well, maybe not Microsoft. It's the easiest analog out.
Yeah.
Like, would you pay $500? If you pay $500 for the regular system, would you pay $600 for the elite version of the system if they launched with 2 SKUs?
Personally, me, I have to think about that, man.
You do a trade-in. I think if
I have to think about it. Is paying $600 for a console? That's a mental block I have. I don't think I could do, man. That shit is not a necessity like a phone, or a PC. I have to think about that one.
I'm sure if they do that, I'm telling you, they're going to have some kind of.
Your Chromebook is $100.
You bring in your pre-existing console and take $100.
But Adam, I'm glad you said that. I think that's what they should do. They should have like trade-ins for all.
That's how they're gonna. Probably that's going to be the spin on it. It's got to be. I mean, we've seen Microsoft do that when they released the X. We're like, hey, go to any one of our stores, trade in your Xbox One, and you get, what was it? Like, I think it's one point was $150 to $200 off.
Yeah.
So I could easily see both of them doing that. This go around and say, hey, listen, we put a lot of parts in it. This is not cheap. You wanted something quality. Quality costs money. So, hey, this is how much
get a second job.
Yeah, get a second job. Get a second job.
But they were like, hey, you already got a PlayStation. The numbers prove it. Almost everybody has one. Trade the shit in. Remember, it's fully backward compatible. All your games are carry over. You're just selling that hardware. Put that money toward this. And that's it.
Dude, I don't understand why you can't just explain to people where the money goes. If you're like, hey, here's a $500 system. It costs us more than $450 to manufacture. Yeah. Most gamers are going to be like, okay, there will be the crowd that are like, well, why don't you pay money for me to buy your system?
Yeah.
That is stupid.
Those people exist, though, man.
Yeah, I know. I just cannot fathom how they don't understand from a business perspective how that's not a good choice. Well, they'll get me as a customer. Like, yeah, well, they don't necessarily make a shitload of money off each game sold. They make most of their money off hardware. You're asking
No, it's the other way around, bud.
Is it really?
It is software.
Yeah, that's why. That's what you gotta realize. Classically, almost every single since we have gotten into the next generation, every single console has been sold at the loss.
That's true. I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
With the exception of a sparse few, which is mostly the Nintendo ones.
I thought PlayStation 4 was though it sold with minimal gain.
No,
negligible, but it wasn't a loss.
PlayStation 4 sold at a loss, but it made it a profit like a year or so later. It was fast. PlayStation 3, on the other hand, it took like 4 years for it to start being profitable.
And remember, this is the generation of services now.
Yeah.
No. Look, I'm not saying that you can't take it or sell it for next to nothing, but taking $100 hit, like paying $100 for each console that out the door.
Yeah, that's kind of brutal. I see what you're saying, but at the same time, but okay, and I'm glad you said it, because here's what I'm getting at. Like, companies, they need to find that balance, or they want to find a balance between how much, or in this case, how much of a loss are we willing to take, and also sell this system to people. Because I still maintain, if this shit is $600 fucking just off the bat, that's gonna be a hard sell, man. That's gonna be a very hard sell, unless they do a payment plan. If they do a payment plan, it's fine. You know,
I don't think they do a base system for $600. I think that'd be an optional buy up.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be a much easier sell if you're saying, hey, the base system is $500, pay an extra $100, and you get the super premium deluxe gold ultra edition.
The pro.
What if they threw in a game?
I mean, a digital game would cost them next to nothing. So that'd be a great idea. But even if they didn't include a game, I'd pay the extra $100. Tony, so would you. You're a fucking games journalist, and most people would find a way.
I can still play those games on a regular PS5.
Yeah, that's why you gotta play that regular PlayStation right now instead of.
Yeah, well, remember what happened on my PlayStation 4? That shit broke. Remember?
Dude, you shell out the extra $100. I'm pretty sure most people would find.
I don't know, man.
Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Yes, you are right. There is a critical point when you say something is so much money that people freak out and back off. But here's the thing. If you let them penny or nickel and dime themselves, they will go over that line happily. That's how Nintendo's been doing it for years. Yeah, it's a $300 system. Bullshit, it's $500 by the time you get all the shit that you need. And you can know it, Nintendo, because you short us out on accessories and then overcharge us on the back end. You know how that shit works. But people will still walk away after paying $550 and be like, I just got me a $300 system. It's if you nickel and dime them or give them that ability, if you're like, dude, $100. I mean, there's a super awesome one over here for $600, but you don't need to spend the extra $100. But you don't want the extra graphics or hardware or anything like that. Like, you don't want the souped up best version of the new console experience, do you? And the people will be standing in Best Buy, they're like, I mean, kind of like. So it's like $100. What does it have in it? What's in it? And then they can fucking have a $700 version with VR, and people will still be like, I mean, okay, so let me think about this. I'm gonna get the regular one for $500. I kind of want the $600 version to run games better.
By the way,
and then I may as well get the VR headset, because if I got the VR headset, I want the one that runs the premium experience anyway. So really, that's only another $100, and they've walked out after buying a game and a controller, spending $850 fucking dollars when they walked in to buy that $500 system.
Yeah, no, I see what
That's
you're
how
saying.
it'll roll.
Oh no, I see what you're saying, but you're also kind of assuming that PlayStation 5 is going to have 2 SKUs at launch. We have no evidence of that.
No.
Xbox, we kind of do because of the series and all that. You know what I'm saying? But PlayStation 5, we don't have that. We don't have any evidence to support that at this moment. You know what I'm saying? So,
I don't even think Microsoft will have one at launch. I think they'll have one in launch window, and I think Sony would be foolish to not compete in that market.
All right,
so I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know whether or not. Like, I'm not sitting here being like, oh yeah, Sony's going to launch with a sort of PlayStation Pro. But if Microsoft is launching with this iterative SKU kind of generational system, it would be ridiculous for Sony not to respond in kind, right? To be like, oh, you can buy 3. A year and a half in, they're like, oh, you can buy these 3 different Xboxes, low, medium, or super powerful. And there's the one PlayStation. Like, I don't think that
it would be foolish for them to not respond if Microsoft's strategy is successful, right? If it isn't successful, Sony has absolutely no reason to release another SKU right away. Don't get me wrong, I do believe they will release a more powerful PS5, just like they did with the PS4. I just don't think it's going to happen, not at launch and not near launch. But just to give you a little bit of credit, if Microsoft does do this and it is successful, Sony may decide, hey, maybe let's release our Pro version a little earlier. But again, we're kind of going to speculation mode right now. But yeah, it's again, I just going back to what I say, I still believe both systems will launch at $500. If they do at $600, they're gonna have to fucking put in a payment plan because let me finish and tie the payment plan to your subscription. Hey, for an extra $20 to your PS Plus subscription, you pay off your PlayStation 5.
Yeah, kind of like the way they do with cell phones, right?
Yeah, and it will work. Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So if you are not in disagreement that Sony or Microsoft would launch in the launch window 2 different SKUs, if that's still if that's any sort of possibility,
that's a possibility. Yeah. It's about just because of the name of the system, the series. Yeah.
What would they be priced at?
Ooh, okay. Actually, Brett, you're not gonna like what I'm gonna say right now.
All right.
I think the main console, the big boy console, will be $500, and the middle one will be $400 or $450.
You want to take a bet on that?
No, I don't, because I could be wrong. Sorry, but I'm not drinking. No. Listen,
you're already saying on air that Xbox One, the new Xbox is going to cost $400 for the base system.
No, I didn't say that. What are you talking about?
That's what you just said. You said the beefy one will cost $500.
No,
the regular base
I'm going off your hypothesis. I'm not saying that. I think Xbox is going to only launch one console. That's what I think is going to happen. Wait, let me finish. Adam, come on, let me finish, motherfucker. I was just going on with your hypothesis. In reality, I think Xbox is only going to launch one console at launch.
Okay, so it's a long stake bet, man. That's all the more reason.
But I'm not going to make a bet that I think is stupid. Understand?
I don't think it's. I think Xbox.
You honestly.
Then you take the bet.
Yeah, you take the bet. But I think so you honestly believe. You really believe that in actuality, Xbox is going to launch 2 systems.
No.
Near launch.
I count 2 systems as they're going to launch this and they're going to launch xCloud at the same time.
xCloud is not a system, though.
That's a service. That still takes money. So I'm just thinking that's what.
But I'm asking Brett this. You honestly believe that's going to happen? That's a reality.
I think that they will announce the boosted version.
Okay.
Within the first quarter, within the first 3 months of launch, which is launch window, which is why we specified this earlier.
Okay.
I think they're going to fan the flames. I don't think they're going to make it a secret that they're going to have multiple Xboxes coming out, which they've already been paving the road for. I think they'll let people know so they don't feel cheated like, oh, I just bought an Xbox and now there's other one coming out. But I think they're going to try and hit the sweet spot of beefing up the news cycle, where as soon as they crest over and Xbox kind of is stopping being such a big deal, they flash back in with the second Xbox releasing probably somewhere between 6 months to a year down the line.
Wow, that's bold. By the way, I'm going to kind of augment what I said, because I said they're going to release a cheaper version. I forgot they already have a cheaper version. It's called the Xbox. They're going to lower the price of the Xbox One X. That's going to be $400. That's what they're going to do. I would bet on that. I would bet on that. So yeah, Microsoft's not going to release a cheaper console. They already have the cheaper console. I completely fucking forgot about that. The Xbox One X.
That's going to be $400. The base system for the new one, for the new generation will be $500, and the price for the elite version of the next system will be $600.
Yeah,
Call it now.
Yeah,
it's been recorded.
Okay, yeah, that's been recorded. Well, hold on, and just to clarify, $600 for the elite. And elite is perfect because that's what they kind of go with. Launch window. I mean, not launch window. 6 months after launch, you say?
I think they'll announce it in the launch window.
Interesting.
How long it'll actually take them to get it done, I'm not necessarily sure. But I think that they're going to try and come out of the gate seeming like they have multiple SKUs. Even if they don't have multiple SKUs directly on the shelves at launch. Kind of like how GTA launched with multiplayer kind of thing. Like that same kind of thing. You'll know it's coming as soon as the first Xbox hit the shelves. But I think that they will use it to play out their space in the news cycle further, which isn't a bad idea. It's kind of what Nintendo has been doing. They breadcrumb their people, so I think that they're going to basically breadcrumb and do a staggered release for multiple SKUs because they want to be known as that company that's giving you those options. It's not just going to be you have one Xbox and a computer. It's you have choice of 2 Xboxes, the regular, the premium, or you can go on PC, which you already own if you're looking for something cheap. That way they're going to hit all the marks. They're going to hit your standard gamers with the console, but they're going to hit their hardcore gamers with the elite model, and they're going to hit the casual gamers by already having a computer in your house that you can play these Xbox games on. And by doing so, they're going to really be able to leverage games as a service, and that's going to be their platform for the next generation.
Yeah, to be fair, the average casual gamer will be the Xbox One, the regular Xbox One. So remember, you can play the new games on that shit too.
No. Those are your normal gamers.
Yeah.
Right, like you said both at the same time. Your casual gamers already have a PC. Your Candy Crush gamers already have a PC. There's a whole new fucking market.
They have their phones.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Candy Crush gamers.
Dude, there is a whole... Like, Microsoft wants that casual gamer money.
Oh, yeah, of course. They all do. That's where a lot of money comes from.
Yeah, but Microsoft is the closest to actually getting it.
Mm-hmm.
They're installing games as a service on a thing that you already own. That's literally the recipe of why Candy Crush is a fucking success. Nobody buys a cell phone to play Candy Crush. They have a cell phone.
Yeah, it's just
and they're bored.
Yeah. So interesting, man.
Yep, it still makes money. Same thing with the Angry Birds game. Not as much as they used to, but yeah.
Yeah, and think about all the more indie games, right? The games that a lot of people would play, but they're not really gamer enough to own a system.
Yeah,
Undertale or In the Blind Forest, that kind of thing. Like games, people are like, oh, it's a little cinematic arty experience. It's kind of like a little side scroller. It's not super.
Undertale on Xbox?
No,
I believe it is. It should be. I mean, it's Undertale. I think Undertale's on everything, man.
But even if it isn't, that's the kind of game I'm talking about. Like there are indie arty games that develop or draw a more casual crowd, somewhere between those Candy Crush Flappy Bird people and video gamers. And I hate to say it like this, but I'm fucking gonna say it. Most gamers' girlfriends fall in that category. It's true. They love The Sims, but they're not necessarily going to play Call of Duty with you.
Yeah, but there are girls that will play Call of Duty. That's just
get that they are, and that's why I said most gamers' girlfriends. And I'm not even talking about gamer girls. Like gamer girls are a whole different breed. They're there all on their own. I'm talking about the people that are drug along because they're not necessarily into video games enough to explore it on their own. But if their partner's into it, they're at least going to dabble. The same way, like, if you don't like crime documentaries, you start dating somebody who's really into them, you're at least going to kind of watch some of them. You're going to dip your toe in the water a little bit. You're going to be very casual about it. And sometimes that doesn't draw you all the way in. That's why these games exist on Steam. It's not the hardcore gamers that fucking love Undertale.
So,
Gone home.
So, interesting thing.
Yes.
Undertale is not on Xbox.
What?
It's on PC, but it's not on Xbox. PC? You can buy Undertale on the the Microsoft store, but you can't buy it for Xbox.
By the way, why am I not surprised? Like Techno Fabulous says that his wife loves Call of Duty. There you go, man. She plays campaign.
That's a gamer girl. That's not a drag along. I want to make that super clear. I'm talking about the drag-alongs here.
Yeah, the drag-alongs.
I have known some fucking awesome gamer girls. Rachel could whoop the shit out of me in GTA every time, without question.
Yeah,
that bitch can play.
I should say that I think you know how they always say like, oh, girl. By the way, I don't like that term, gamer girls. But girls that play games are rare. I always find that funny because, and I guess kind of because of my field, so who I surround myself with. I'm like, but like half the people I know are girls and they play games that are hardcore. But I know I'm an exception. We are the exception in that rule.
It just looks that way because gamer girls, much like gamer guys and gamer anybody in betweens, don't leave their house a lot because their primary hobby is gaming. Like, where the fuck are you going to meet them? Walking down the street? What are the chances that they're walking down the street? And then what are the chances that you're walking down the street? That's like fucking slim to none.
Yeah, no, but you're right about that. It's like, if I just think about my gamer friends, I'm like, yeah, half of them are women and half of them play games. But then if I think about just all the people I know, I'm like, oh yeah, women don't play as many games as us, But we're getting off on a tangent right now. The fuck are we talking about? Yeah, PlayStation 5. Again, we'll see what happens, but I really believe both systems, will be $500 at launch. Whether they'll come out on time because of this Corona shit, who knows, man?
Can I ask you this? Because I really want to pin you into a corner.
Okay.
Are you saying
you're gonna try to pin me to a corner? This is me, Brad. You've never succeeded at this.
I never succeed, but I keep trying. Even though I don't win, I keep trying and learn lessons. You like that?
Yeah, gotta
win. You gotta win.
You gotta win, right? Yeah.
It's about winning.
Never
it's
settle.
Not about winning.
Never settle, man. Never settle.
Never settle. Win.
All right, brother. Give it your best shot. Try to pin me.
For life.
Try to pin
so,
me,
are
man.
you saying that no system, no console released by either Xbox or Sony on launch will be $600?
Not unless they do a payment plan.
Including Elite Systems.
I don't think they're going to do 2 SKUs at launch. I'm
not even saying 2 SKUs. I'm just asking, when are you saying that there will never be a console this generation that costs $600?
No, I'm not saying that. Because if they do payment plans, then they could price them up to $800 if they want. Understand? I think, and I really believe, because there's already murmurs about it, I think they are going to implement some kind of payment plan. That's how you get a $600. But let's take that out of the equation, right? No.
Yeah.
No. Hell no. We already saw what happened with the play. I don't give a fuck if that was 14 years ago. People remember that shit. $600 to get a second job. People are going to be like, no fucking way am I paying $600 for a console. Some people will. Don't get me wrong. Some people will. There will be people who buy this.
Some people did.
Some people did. So I'm not going to say no one on earth is going to buy a $600 console. I'm just saying the majority, Manny, our favorite term, Joe Blow, ain't buying no $600 console. Nope. No fucking way.
All right.
They'll be like, hey, how much is the old one? They'll go buy the old one.
Yeah, exactly. How much does the old shit cost? Can I play the new games on it? Joe Blow ain't paying $600 for no fucking console.
According to the way Phil was talking, though, it don't matter. It won't matter what console you're going to be using.
No, because you could use your Xbox One.
Yeah.
You could use the Xbox One. Or Project X Cloud, so
it'll just be just like the way PC games.
I guarantee you, unless Jim Ryan is crazy, I don't see Sony specifically pricing a console at $600, remembering what the fuck happened to them last time. No fucking way, unless they're crazy or they have a payment plan.
Maybe that's why your boy quit.
Maybe, yeah. Could you imagine that? Sean Layden's like, y'all, $600. Fuck this.
I'm not going down that road again.
If I am wrong, I will be shocked. And I will be like, Sony, what the fuck are you doing? Have you forgotten?
I'll have to both at the same price.
Oh, well, that's a different situation. If they both
got the market cornered.
Oh no, yeah. If they both launch them for $600, then people will still complain. But again, Joe Blow, that again, and we've said this many times, right? Most console sales come from the regular motherfucker who just walks into Best Buy. I want a new system. Is that one cheap? That's the one I'm buying. That's where the majority of console sales come from. Like, guys like us, we're 25% at most. We are gonna pay that kind of money for shit like that. But Joe Blow, he ain't paying that. No fucking way. But I will say this though, this generation that's coming up is going to be different than last generation. I just don't know what form it'll take, but I still believe that money, that doesn't change for people, and $600 for a system, I don't know, man. Unless that system, like Riku and actually like Hip Hop Gamer said, unless that system plays every game on PlayStation for the past 25 years, that's going to be a hard fucking sell, man. That's going to be a hard fucking sell.
That brings me to a fairly related topic / quick question I wanted to ask you guys. is media being recycled more in our day and age? What I mean by this is...
What do you mean?
Okay.
No. What do you mean? I don't understand the question.
When I was a kid, it seemed to be all about what was new. What show was premiering, what movies were coming out, what video game was new this week. And there seemed to be a very kind of short shelf life. These things went stale after a while. You know, after a movie had been out in the theaters for a few weeks, it was being rushed out because there was another one being put in. And I realize that's because we used to create media at a faster pace. But one thing that I seem to find now is these days, a movie that's 20 years old still plays on TV. 13-year-olds still watch it. When I was a kid, I didn't know shit that was 20 years old.
What?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
For the most part.
Okay,
For the most part.
I actually know what Brett finished, and then I got to interject on that one.
I was born in 84. Did I know a bunch of shit that was made in 64?
I
did.
I did.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I was watching
Reruns,
shit. I was
man.
watching shit from. I was watching shit from.
I know the Munsters because of that.
I'm going to say this, for the first 20 years of my life, 1980 to 2000, most of the things I watched were decades before I was even born. And you know why? Because it was just on TV. That's all they showed.
Yeah.
Gilligan's Island, The Munsters, Addams Family, all this shit, Twilight Zone.
Bunch.
Star Trek.
Yeah, most TV was composed of shit from decades before I was even born. You know, some shit was before my parents were born.
I mean, there was the rerun circuit, like the fucking classic like Nick at Night stuff and everything like that. Like
this was before Nick at Night. This was before Nick at Night. But Brett, maybe you guys had different kind of TV there, but most of the shit I consumed, and I think I should speak for the rest of the guys here, was all old shit. All I watched was old shit.
I was watching like the Monkees and My Favorite Martian.
Yeah, and the Honeymooners, Three Stooges.
No, I guess I watched a lot of that. I watched a lot of classic Looney Tunes and whatnot too. Like, I didn't think it was from that much earlier, but my question still stands. Like,
as a matter of fact, I just said it got to a point where I thought there was a demarcation point where the world became in color. I thought the whole world was in black and white at one point, just because of the shit I used to watch.
Boom, everything's in color.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I thought all those magical world of Disney's as a kid was happening right then.
Yeah.
By the way, I didn't know that fucking Walt Disney was dead. He's in color. He must be alive because everything that was old was black and white, right?
Because of them rerunning old Bugs Bunny cartoons up until I was 20, I thought the Brooklyn Dodgers were still a fucking team.
That's awesome.
Just because of Bugs Bunny cartoons, And
I get that. There are those big examples, but I can't help but get the feeling that it's not just video games, that TV shows, that movies, that media that tends to stick around longer these days, or it feels like it does.
Well, you know what it is? It's not the fact that we're getting reruns, it's the fact that everybody's deciding to remake the old shit that from before. It's not even just showing the old shit, it's just like, okay, we just decided to remake the thing again.
Yeah, by the way,
there's that too.
Yeah, Brett, I like this question because I have a completely different take, and I've discussed this with Manny and Chris a bunch of times. I feel that when we were growing up, we were very knowledgeable about the shows and things that came before us, right? And I feel that kids nowadays don't know shit about what happened 2 years ago. Even though they have more access to it than we did, they don't know shit. Like, they don't know about this stuff.
I think it's also because of the fact that back when
that's all we had. Like,
the thing is that we didn't have a choice as to what was on TV.
Yeah, now there's plenty choices.
Now everything you have to specifically look for, and obviously things are going to get lost in the bunch. If you don't know it exists, why are you going to look for it? Right?
Yeah, exactly. So, Brett, I agree with you that it's being recycled through remakes, but I don't think anyone's watching old movies. They don't even know they exist. Which is, again, weird because when I was a kid, I used to watch, like, the fucking, Godzilla movies, King Kong, Mighty Joe Young, World of Worlds, all this shit that came way before my time, but now kids will be like, what the fuck is that?
Mighty Joe Young and World of Worlds got remade in the 2000s.
Yeah, they did. So. Isn't that something,
Wow.
And both those movies sucked.
Yeah, and it's weird. It's like
Mighty Joe Young was okay.
Yeah, people have access to all the old shit, but they don't know about it. It's really weird, I don't know how we went off on a tangent, but it's a good tangent. That's what we do on Throwdown, man. We go on tangents, and people like tangents.
Right. Hey, that's why my main channel, to be honest, if I ever do watch TV, is that stupid Me TV channel, because all it does is just show a bunch of old shit.
I mean,
I'm watching fucking MASH and Hogan's Heroes.
Dude, okay, I want to say this for public service announcement for our, that's right. Public service announcement for our younger viewers. Go back and watch movies from the 80s. Watch it from the 90s. There is like how Tony put it, there is a clear demarcation where they started putting on kids' gloves and treating everybody like an idiot.
Oh yeah.
Like you could watch old shows and be like I was just telling somebody the other day, like, how is The Swamp of Sorrows and Neverending Story okay, and how is this a movie for children? Like we used to just run around with no emotional guardrails.
That was a lot. I mean, and to be honest, maybe I think a lot of that sort of stuff, like like on Twitter right now, which was kind of going, is like, what things scared you as a kid? Some people were putting like fucking Jumanji and shit. I'm like, no, man. Superman 3, that fucking crazy the robot woman. Not even the monster that she turned into. Just that shit going into her skin and her fucking eyes flipping backward and turning silver. That shit was scary.
I mean, even something not as extreme as that, like, for example, imagine Willy Wonka being made today.
Well, they did remake it, though.
Oh, yeah, never.
Exactly.
Well, that was off the book. That wasn't even the remake of the one that
murdered
we
so many children.
Willy Wonka was a fucking asshole.
They made it out. You see them in the end. They make it out.
Willy Wonka was an asshole throughout 99% of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And in the remake, he's like some fucking joyous guy with perfect teeth.
He's Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, like back, like when we were kids, like if you remember E.T., there was actually a lot of cursing in it, and in fact, that was one of the reasons. Like I remember my mom at the time was like, "How is this a movie not like a rated R movie with all the cursing that these kids are doing?"
Wait, guns, chasing kids with guns. Remember?
Chasing kids with guns.
No, they changed into flashlights.
Well, no, they're not
walkie-talkies.
Right? They're not flashlights or walkie-talkies anymore. Spielberg's like, nah, it's okay. We'll just leave them alone.
Oh shit! Hold on. Do the Third is hitting us with some shit right now, man. He said troll, the Gare. I don't know if you wrote that right. Cat. Remember Cat Eye? Cat's eyes.
The Cat's Eye. The Cat's Eye. Believe it or not, is not. As I remember, I don't think that's a rated R movie.
Yeah. By the way, there was a point because the PG-13 rating didn't exist, right? I think it came around for Temple of Doom. But the funny thing is, the PG-13 movies that came out in the 80s were more hardcore than rated R movies are now, which is hilarious.
Seriously, that's why you need to go back and watch them.
Temple of Doom got it for the fucking part where Molaram rips the heart out of that guy. Yeah, that's the reason why he got it.
Yeah, it didn't get it for the monkey brains. It didn't get it for that.
Maybe for the monkey brains, but yeah, the big one was because they ripped that heart out of that guy's head, the guy's arm. I mean, chest.
Yeah, sorry. Movies for children back then were.
Movies for children back then were what?
And then movies made now.
You're cutting out hardcore, bro.
Dude, I'm like here.
Brett, I got you. Movies for children back then were better than movies for adults made right now, or something like that.
Or more hardcore. Yeah, I agree with that, man. Cat people, yo, movies were scary back in the day, man.
Yeah, for me, I mean, Brett, I'm younger than you, and for me, the best era of movies was the 70s, and the best era for music was the 60s.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Oh, I want to say I'm about a decade later on that.
For everything,
dude, 80s movies were the shit.
Hold on, Carlos, what are your decades again? 70s for movies and 60s for music.
60s for music.
For me, both music and movies. 80s, they're both. Both,
dude. There's a lot of great classic rock that came out in the 70s.
Oh no, 70s rock is fucking awesome. Don't get me wrong,
dude. That's why I started saying like the 70s oldies classic rock. Fuck yes, but movies gotta be the 80s. There was too much synth in the 80s in some of the music.
Yeah, I mean the 60s for me was amazing because it started off, the whole bubblegum kind of stuff.
Well, you had fat rock, which turned into punk, and you got
and then it went to psychedelic, and then it went to hard rock.
You're just talking about the evolution of the Beatles right now, bro.
Well, that's exactly the evolution of music back then. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yo, man, what other era can you say that had the Beatles, Pink Floyd, Rolling Stones, the Velvet Underground, Led Zeppelin, the Beach Boys, like
the Who.
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath.
Yep, yo, I just find it funny that not the shit I used to listen to as a kid. Now that shit is hard, like classic rock. Like Bon Jovi and shit. And fucking Winger and Poison. I'm like, that shit is fucking like hard, classic. Like, wow, okay.
You know what's crazy? Like, is Bruce Springsteen classic now?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, he's been classic.
He's been classic.
Oh,
yeah.
he's been, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to gaming. What the fuck are we talking about right now? Okay, so Adam, I threw this one here for you, man. So Sony is giving out PS4 themes and a real life platinum trophy.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the requirements for this are crazy, right?
Yeah.
So the first goal, to get the platinum trophy, you have to beat you have to have played 125,000 games. $500,000 trophies, and your reward is a static PS3 theme. For goal 2, it's 375,000 games played, 1.5 million trophies earned, and your reward for that is 5 exclusive PS4 avatars. And goal 3, the Mamma Jamma, 675.
Somebody who's going to win this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 675,000 games played. 2.5 million trophies earned. An exclusive dynamic PS4 theme. That's crazy, and you get a platinum trophy. I don't think I've played 125,000 games in my life. In my lifetime.
No, but you got to understand that is not for one person.
Oh, really? Is it like a team effort?
No, it's a team effort.
Ah, okay. See, that's more realistic then.
Yeah. So if it's a goal for everybody on the PlayStation to be able to play all those games. If they're played, they earn this amount of trophies and they've earned this amount of thing, then they get that. That's what it is. And the dynamic. So the platinum trophy, what that is, that's also chosen at random. So I'm sure the person who has the most trophies will probably get it at random.
Okay, so you're 100% sure this is a team thing? Because I'm reading this. There's nothing team-based here at all.
I mean, nobody can play that amount of game in game.
So you're speculating. Just want to be sure here.
No, it's on there. It's on the PlayStation blog. They said
again, I'm reading this right now, and I am not seeing anything about a team effort.
Thing. It's not only just one person.
Okay, here we go. Yeah. By the way, Destructoid, you should have put that in the fucking article. Mm-hmm. Play together, win together. There you go. All right. So because there is no way again. I don't think all of us combined here could have played that many fucking games.
No.
Do that many games exist?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Now the way they're doing it is also probably everybody who registered for it. So anybody who's registered for this promotion will be counted within this tally of amount of games and trophies that they've earned.
Hold on. Does Sony PlayStation have 675,000 games in their library?
How many?
What
was the number?
675,000.
Wait,
it's not unique titles. It's, let's say if every single person was playing everybody, it means
so it could be copies then?
Yeah, it could be copies.
Oh, okay,
in other words,
gotcha.
it's like you just have to. It's just one person who's entered into this thing has to be playing a game.
Yeah. So for example, like you could have like Demon Souls in America, Demon Souls in Hong Kong, Demon Souls in China, shit like okay.
Yeah.
That's more realistic then.
In other words, it's anybody it's just you rewarding you for doing what you usually do. So you're just if you're playing games and you're essentially everybody together who's joined this promotion is essentially dropping in whatever amount to
interesting
to but I don't know if it works if let's say you play a game that you've already played, does that go into the thing before before you entered into it?
According to DJ Chain or Chyan in the chat, he says they don't count.
Okay, so let's say
he says he doesn't think they count.
In other words, I finished off Death Stranding, right? And I actually did become part of this promotion, right? Does that mean if I turned on Death Stranding again while I'm on the promotion, does that mean that me playing Death Stranding counts as part of the thing?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know. That's a lot of fucking games, man.
But that's between individuals that have joined this thing.
Yeah.
So the more people that join the thing and the more people that are playing games, it doesn't matter what games you're playing, it will be that it'll be that amount. So in other words, if it's X amount of games per person.
All right. So yeah, just to clarify, yes, it is a shared goal. All right.
You could no. I think, to be honest, I think they might have misread it.
Destructoid, because I'm reading because I got it off their article. They don't even mention that at all.
No, they don't. They're saying it's one person. Nobody could ever do that.
That's impossible.
That's impossible. It's done. It's what do they call it?
There are not that many games in the PlayStation library, man.
No, there's not. It's a community thing, and it could be multiples of the same game per person. It's just the amount of people, the amount of games that they're currently playing it could be duplicates, obviously.
Yeah.
Like the amount of trophies that they earn.
My Death Stranding counts as much as your Death Stranding. Yeah,
exactly.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot, because there's no fucking way.
So so the way it works is like once you've reached the goal or reached one of the goals, it'll probably tell you via email, like, hey, you guys just did X amount of trophies this year. Yay! You get this this theme. There you go.
Yeah. It's interesting, man. All right, is anybody gonna participate? Because I'm not. Fuck that.
I just did it because all it does is just reward you for doing what you normally do.
Big Mike needs to get in on this.
Yeah. He's gonna win by himself. Yeah. I'm sure he'll.
You're right, just by himself, right? Yeah. Shout out to Big Mike. Manny, it's interesting you entered this because you don't play as many games as some of the other guys on the show, do you know?
No, but I mean, the thing is, it's like I like, again, it's a community thing, so it's multiple people doing it. So if everybody, and that's why they have a certain time that you can register for it, right? So
I believe so, yeah.
It says only a certain amount of time. So if you're registered for it, doesn't if you're playing maybe one or two things here or there, and they still reach the goal, that still means that you get something.
Yeah.
The only thing is that the only thing is the platinum trophy thing, I think, is dependent on who does it, but I think it's also randomized. I think whoever gets it.
That's kind of cool though, because it's kind of evens the playing field a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
Everybody should get one.
Yeah. Yo, you know what? I'll sign up for it because I play a lot of games, for obvious reasons. You know.
Yeah. Why not?
I'll do it. Why not? You know. We'll see. Maybe I'll get. Oh man, and it's engraved with your PSN name. That would be fucking sweet, man.
Yeah, I don't know how many. I think they're only giving away one, right?
Yeah, only one. Yo, if I win that shit, I would wear it on my fucking head. You know,
you just make a
profile. Yeah, I'll make a profile picture, and then I'll be higher up on that fucking poll they did. Did you guys see that shit? So somebody did. You know those lists, like list the best things. So they listed the most respected Sony ponies, and I was on the same tier as Hip Hop Gamer and Red Infamy, right? But if I get that platinum trophy, I'm gonna be up there in the S rank with fucking Phil Spencer. Yes, Phil Spencer is a super Sony pony according to that list.
Oh shit!
And then Ninja will make a comment and say, "See, this is what I'm talking about when I say winners. He's winning.
He's a winner. Yeah,
hard for this.
I'll wear that shit on my fucking, and I'll be my profile picture.
There was a poll for PlayStation people.
No. Okay, you know those like things like list your top tier, whatever. It's like they usually put cereals or foods or whatever. So they did one for most respected ponies, PlayStation ponies, and the higher up the list you are, the more respected you are. I was kind of in the middle. I guess motherfuckers don't know me as well. But the funny thing is, originally I thought it was like just regular ponies, and I got mad. I'm like, wait, how am I a bigger pony than some of these real fucking ponies under me? But when I heard, it's on respect level, I'm like, oh yeah, I have more respect than these fucking idiots like J-Tech, that fucking idiot.
Damn.
Well, fuck that guy. I'll said it, Nobody likes that. Yeah, fuck that guy.
That's fired, man.
Yeah, but it was kind of funny. Hip Hop Gamer, Red Infamy were all there, in the same line. But, dudes like Proto Rock, they're up there in the S rank. So is Jesus Christ, by the way. He's a pony.
Oh, okay. Apparently he is. Okay.
Oh, man. This is crazy. Yo, DJ Chain, I posted it on our Discord. It should be in there. It's fucking hilarious, man. But I'm honored to be on the list. Shit is crazy. Every time I get memed, it's hilarious. I'm like, why? Like someone's going out of their way to make me into a fucking meme. Ain't that about a bitch?
Yo, man, it's the internet.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's move on here. Manny, I threw the story in here just specifically for you, man.
Ooh.
They're bringing back your favorite electronic toy of the 80s, man.
Oh no!
So Hasbro is bringing back the Tiger Toys electronic handhelds, the LCD games from back in the day. Some of you motherfuckers you don't even know about this. You were too.
Oh
fucking
God! I know what you're.
Yeah. Hey, Brett, the recycling shit, right? So yeah,
Ooh,
so,
dude, I had so many of those.
Of all things to bring back.
Here's the thing about them, right?
They're really bringing it back.
Yeah,
though.
like here's the thing about them, right? Objectively speaking, just again, we're fair here. These things are trash.
They're terrible.
They're terrible.
I loved them, but they were terrible.
Brett, thank you. I was going to say that. They're fucking horrible. They're trash. I have so many fond memories of them, man.
I do not have any.
I played the shit out of them, man. Because this was before I owned a Game Boy or a Nintendo. You know, it was I'm still new to gaming. This was amazing. You know,
that was the Nintendo ones were good. The clamshell ones. I had a Donkey Kong one.
The Game & Watch.
Yeah. But we're talking about the Tiger toys specifically.
No, I know the Tiger toys were garbage. $14.99 garbage.
I had so many of those, man. So they're bringing them back, and so I was talking about this on Twitter, and I was like, I was thinking like, hey man, I want to play these. Just have somebody. And I was like, hey, wait a minute, Tony, you're a gaming journalist, man. You could probably get these for free and review them. So look out for that, man. It's gonna be crazy.
It's garbage.
And of course, you know what the review's gonna be, right? Like, yo, I used to love these as a kid, but this is like watching Thundercats again. It's fucking terrible.
No,
no,
it wasn't fun then, and it's
it was fun. It was fun for me. Brett, just back me up on this one, man. We had
it was fun.
You were a child. You didn't know what was good.
Yeah.
You didn't know what was good.
Yeah, I know. Obviously,
they would always break.
Yeah. They would always break.
They were incredibly frustrating. You'd be like sitting in the car, like fucking playing it. Like a sunbeam would come in just the wrong way, blind you for a minute.
That's what I'm saying. They were horrible.
Oh yeah, they were trash, but I loved them back in the day.
That's what your parents would get you when they didn't know the difference between a Game Boy and one of those things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey,
before Game Boy.
Okay.
Whoa. Everything about that statement is wrong.
Oh, hey, it's cheap.
No. I bought my own games, so I was fucker. All right,
God!
Dude. When you're saving up for like a Nintendo game for your NES,
no man, never touch those shits, man.
Dude, it was a poison, like because you had to walk right past those things to like get to like the regular video game stuff, right? So it was like, man, like fucking rake yards and mow lawns and shit. Like I could make some money. I can make like maybe like $5 a week. All right, so like if I do this shit, haul ass, I can get like a new GI Joe every week, and if I really haul. Like I can get like a new video game like maybe once every couple like about 8 video games a year. And then I can stash those motherfuckers up. When the new system comes out, I'll trade that shit in. And then it'll just be the cost of another, couple of video games. It's like that's how I kept it rolling. And then there was the poison, those little fucking toys, the little tiger fucking toy video games. You walk by and they're like, dude, it's like $15. Like I have $30 in my pocket, and like an $8, $30 in their pocket. You're just
garbage.
Play video games on the go, man. And this was before because like I was always saving up for the system, so I didn't really have the money for a lot of Game Boy. Like I got my first Game Boy, I think secondhand, and then finally I got the regular one. And shortly after, the color one came out, and I was like, fuck. I can't afford that. By the time I could afford the color one, the advance kind of came out. Shortly after.
Nostalgia for these fucking machines.
No way, man. Sorry, I'm with Adam on that one.
That was so bad. You don't understand. It's like this was before the Game Boy, but we still had arcades. And when you played games in arcades, and then you go and you see this handheld crap,
they were in the store, you had to have
it lighting to look at. It's like no, I don't want this.
Any meal is a feast to a starving man.
No, man,
I wasn't that hungry.
At the same time, there was those other clamshell ones. The clamshell ones that opened up, and you had to. I remember just having the
Donkey Kong was the shit.
The Nintendo ones were seriously good.
Yeah, those were the ones I would. Those Tiger ones, man. Those are
like the one like it was like a little like they had Popeye, which was like
it's the old Game & Watch games. Yeah.
Yeah, those are the good ones. No, but everybody, if you're thinking about something like this, don't wait for the arcade one-up ones that are coming. Those are 10 times better, and they have an updated LCD screen. These Tiger ones are identical. They said they did nothing to it. If you see the picture, they didn't change the screen. They didn't.
Oh God!
Suck then. It's gonna suck now.
Yeah, so it's gonna be that liquid quartz display like a watch.
When I first heard about it, it was before seeing the image. So I'm like, oh, so it's going to be in the same case, same form factor, but they're going to put an LCD. It's going to be a nice ROM in there. No, it's still crap.
Well, those things didn't use ROM.
They didn't. I know. That's what I'm saying. I thought they were going to go in that direction.
They're literally built. They're literally built like watches. They're
redoing it. It's horrible. Don't get it. Don't get it. Don't waste your money on that shit.
Yeah.
And I bet you they'll sell it for more than just a $14.99 that they were back then, because now it's nostalgic. Now you want to get this. Oh, they'll probably say some shit like limited quantity Double Dragon. You want it.
I don't think that, from what I saw on there was a bunch of games that like it was essentially taking advantage of their Disney license. It was like a bunch of their shitty Disney games that they had.
Was it Sonic? I saw one that looked like Sonic. They had a Sonic one.
I think I saw that. Let me see, because I don't think they announced which ones they're releasing. I see Transformers, X-Men, Sonic 3. Yeah.
Sonic 3?
Yeah, Sonic 3.
Oh, shit. That's got to be the one without Michael Jackson involved, remember? Because that was the whole thing.
That one was
involved,
yeah. Definitely not that version.
All right, and the last thing, Manny, you brought this up. So Red Dead Redemption 2 has its own hot coffee mod, but unlike the original hot coffee mod for GTA San Andreas, this was not found in the source code. Somebody just made it. But the reason we're bringing this up is not because the mod exists, it's because Rockstar's or Take-Two specifically, take that shit down. They're telling the modders, the original modders, take that shit down.
Yeah, they're going at them on this one. They literally sent them over. They literally sent emails to them and all kinds of stuff, cease and desist, and like you're infringing on our copyright and all that other stuff. But the one thing about it, I was thinking, when I hear reading this or watching this, thinking like, why are they going so hardcore on this? And I think that I know why the reason is. It's because of what the connotations of what that name means.
Yeah.
The hot coffee name means. It's like, in other words, because of what that controversy of what it caused years ago.
You don't get to play it. It's not like the hot coffee.
It's not. It's not. No. This one, no. There is actually, you get to see something. It uses animations of the characters kind of rubbing against each other and some noises and stuff. So they essentially programmed a sort of a thing into the game that is additional to whatever is in there. So in other words, once you talk to one of the ladies of the night, then you follow them to the room, and then you see this sort of cinematic, and you can press different buttons and it'll just do different things. But it takes advantage, the noises and the animations are things that are already found in the game. It's just kind of purposed to put together to make this sequence, and that's it.
Hey, game's in for mature.
But the game is in for mature, but obviously Rockstar is coming at them pretty hard. They want them to to pull down the mod, obviously, and they also want them to essentially not delete any sort of information that's connected to it. So in other words, so that nobody else, they can put something in there so that they can stop people from doing this specific thing. And I think the biggest reason why they're coming after this hardcore, because they called it hot coffee mod as opposed to just whatever, because there's so many other crazy fucking things that you can do in Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto.
It's gonna give it a different name. It's out there. That's it. It's gonna be out there. People are gonna use it. Yeah, it is what it is.
But it's not even really it's not like it looks cobbled together. But
it's not. Yeah, if anybody's seen hot coffee was a mini game.
No, it was a total mini game. But this one,
it was all kinds of shit.
Yeah, they meant to have that. They meant to have that in the game, as opposed to this, where it's just essentially they took a bunch of different parts and then just sort of created this little sequence thing that happens. But here's the bigger question about all of this. It's like obviously companies don't like it when games are modded, and the thing about it is that it is within their rights to say pull all this shit down. But a lot of times they kind of, I think a lot of big companies play out of sight, out of mind with a lot of this stuff, because they just we don't, as long as we don't give this shit attention, it'll be fine. But I think that because of the name of this one, that's why it's gotten so much attention,
Yeah, pretty interesting stuff, man. Take-Two is like, yo, take that shit down.
Take that shit down. Like, here's the thing. You got to understand, like, it is within their right, any company's right, to do something like this. Because it all, anything that you, anytime you're editing sort of thing, anytime that you're editing code, you're doing all kinds of all that stuff, you are infringing on their actual copyright, and they can come after you. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the modding community. The modding community is illegal. Plain and simple. The only reason why they don't come after you is because there's so many out there, right? But this one, they painted a huge target on their head because they named it what it is. It's the same thing with the fan art community. I know everybody loves fan art. I draw fan art all the damn time, but to be honest, it's all illegal. And if they wanted to come after you, they can. Or if they wanted to go to any sort of a comic convention and essentially ransack a whole artist alley and say you can't sell any of our copy, any of these prints or anything like that with our characters on it, they can do that. But they don't do that because it looks bad, right?
Yeah.
That's why you remember when Konami was kind of smashing all those, shooting down all those different Metal Gear remakes that people were trying to do. People got all pissed at them. But to be honest, it's within their rights to do that. It's illegal to do that, unfortunately. But you have people like Bethesda and a couple of other companies that are sort of like, mods are okay, because again, it's within their discretion to do that.
Yeah. All right. It's interesting. They're acting like Nintendo. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah,
they're acting like Nintendo. Because Nintendo would totally shoot down all those things down.
Yeah.
But plus, I think investors won't understand. Like, why did you do that? We didn't do that. Why you made?
Yeah, we heard about that hot coffee thing.
Why are you doing this?
Yeah, we all know. We all know how well informed investors are.
Yeah.
Same fucking idiots that didn't realize that Nintendo didn't own Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh,
man. Wait. You Pokemon's not yours? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Remember, like when Pokemon Go was blowing up, like a bunch of people started buying stocks, and then like a week later they realized, oh shit, Nintendo doesn't actually own Pokemon.
Yeah, they're buying stock in Nintendo and not in the Pokemon company.
Morons, I swear. But yeah, man, I think we're pretty much done here. No games we were playing. I think we already got our 2 hours in, so we're good to go, man. Get the fuck out of here. So thank you for watching and listening. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco, and tonight was joined by Emilio Lopez.
I'll see you later, guys. And don't forget, I'm going to be at C2E2 next Thursday. Oh, excuse me, next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you're in Chicago, drop by my table. I got some cool stuff. I got a cool new Die Hard Man print that I was working on, and I did a couple episodes of Throwdown Show where I was painting it, and some other cool stuff as well. So yeah.
Oh shit!
Cool stuff.
You can find me at Artist Alley Table C12.
Yay. Chris Seeley. Hey, take care, everyone. Easy. All right, Carlos Romero.
Later, people.
Adam Vale.
Man, if you're a YouTuber and you do everything by yourself, stop saying we. I hate that shit. We. Yo, it's just you, bitch. It's just you. We appreciate when you subscribe. It's you. It's you.
Oh, man. And, of course, Mr. Brett Murdoch.
It has been real, party.
All right, people. We will see you on the Sundays, man. Later,
guys.
This is
got it.